I remember there was a time when we was kings and queens, prophets and rulers, judging the earth. But now we stuck at the bottom of the totem pole. Where did we go wrong as a people? I think our people need to understand this with a wake-up call and give them understanding on what's going on. So bring it.
Early morning, rise up, open your eyes up, looking in the mirror, it gets no clearer. Cause we don't understand our own selves, drowning in sorrow with empty Hennessy bottles upon the shelf. Cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out their soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper chasing but not facing the facts that as a nation we all done got lax and letting the devil control us. And thinking like them damn Africans, they sold us. We in captivity because they hold us. Working hard with heavy burdens on our shoulders. Man, I thought we was some soldiers, but every second that I look, we getting creamed like Folgers. You see that?
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
Shalom to everybody online. Welcome to Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. I'm Priest Quatazat. To my left, we got Priest Lakarab.
Shalom, shalom.
All right. So we are here once again every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're here from Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Saturday, 10 to 2 p.m. We have our kids class from on Sunday from 11 to 12. Okay. Also, we're going to be doing class live from Trinidad every Tuesday, Thursday from 7 to 10. Fridays, I believe 7 to 10, and Saturdays 7 to 10. Okay, so you'll be able to get class from us daily.
Every day. It'll be on YouTube?
We're gonna start broadcasting those live on YouTube, yeah, from Trinidad. So you'll get class 7 days a week. Okay? If you're in the San Antonio area, we have a school at 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. Okay, we also have they do class Monday through Friday, 7 to 10. Also, if you're in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, you can see us at 501 Copper Ave, Northwest Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87102. Also, and Mashaba's out there doing that. You can catch him on blogtalkradio.com//Mashaba every Monday through Friday at 9:30. All right, 9:30 a.m. If you need to reach a teacher, you can contact me. Text only during class at 303-557-8979. Priest Kazakia, who is in Arizona, you can reach him at 281-707-2737. Or Priest Tahawamayam, he's still in Trinidad, but he's at 832-941-2443. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email us at you can email us at isbhpk@gmail.com. Okay, for our live classes, you're here. It's ISBHPK on YouTube. We also have our live ISBHPK cable show every Saturday from 8:30 to 9:30 on local Comcast channel 17, or you can stream it live on hmstv.org. Okay, let's see here. We do have brothers out in Arizona at the Arizona State Fair. Okay, they're going to be there until the 29th. All right, so they're out there. You know, we do our oils, we sell our oils and things like that. Aromatherapeutic oils, body oils. So if you're out at the Arizona State Fair, go ahead and visit them. That's another way you can show your support. Okay. We also do our Penny Wars contest that helps us to raise money for the Passover that's coming up in April. I mean, it's literally not that far away. 6 more months. Okay. What else we got? If you want a custom-made garment, you can hit up the sisters on Facebook under Israel Wear. Okay, and they can get a custom-made garment for you. They're collecting Passover garment money monthly. For those of you that want a Passover garment, hit them up. They'll give you the details. Also, they work on unity garments year-round. So if you want a garment of any sort, or if you just want a headband, or if you just want armbands, hop on Israel Wear and hit them up. They've been doing garments some of these sisters been making garments for like 15 years. Yeah. 15 years, 14 years, 10 years.
It's plenty of experience.
A lot of experience, and it just goes to show that we've been around. You know, we've been around doing this before there was YouTube, before there was Facebook Live, before there was Facebook. We were doing this. You know, brothers been doing it. So anyway, not to get off the point, hit them up. They make very good, high quality garments. Okay. For any donations, any form of contribution is welcome, is needed. We want to thank everyone that has been donating. You know, we're looking for a functioning computer for Trinidad so they can be able to broadcast. Yeah. Computer has to be powerful enough to run all the software that we need, Wirecast, the YouTube simultaneously. So it has to be a high quality computer. If you get us like a Mac, any Apple brand, obviously, those are high power, they run real well. Newer Windows, that'll work. We need books still, Bibles, Apocryphers, dictionaries, Zondervans, Babylon Timbuktus, Josephus's, pens, papers. Again, this is a new school that we got down there, so they're gonna need all the things that new students would need coming into any curriculum. Yeah, go ahead.
And just being in Trinidad for the 2 months that I was out there, I can tell you, whatever you're donating to help these brothers and sisters out that are down there, that are putting everything on hold to build the school, to get everything up and running. These aren't part-time Israelites. These aren't half-hearted Israelites that you're dealing with. These brothers, they're fully committed, and they're doing the work. They have the love, they have the unity, they have the willing heart and the willing mind to get everything done. So I just wanted to throw out there, man, your donations, it's not being wasted. When you donated the books, those brothers are gonna put those books to use.
Yeah, it's not going in our pocket. Like whatever you donate, it's not going to my books. I buy my own books. I got my books. It's not going to anything else but these new brothers and sisters. Even up here, whatever books we get, we throw them right in the back on the bookshelf, and they're free for brothers and sisters to take. More of the Bibles, Apocryphers, and the dictionaries, they're free for brothers to take if they don't have one, and sisters. Because you can't learn the word of the Most High if you don't have access to it. For any monetary donations, we got a Wells Fargo account under ISB HBK. That number is 101-580-6167, so you can put money in there, or you can use Google Wallet, and you can send that to isbhbk@gmail.com. All right, so that's for any monetary donations that you want to give. Again, we definitely thank everyone that's been donating. It doesn't matter how much it is. If you send one book, that's one more book to one more person. Don't care if it's $1, it's one more dollar that's gonna go on top of what we're already getting. Because it all, like we said, it all goes to the same place. It all goes to building the nation. All right. So with that, that should be all the announcements. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. That's all the announcements. So we're gonna open it up for questions. There's a few people online. We'll open it up for questions. While they do that, does anybody have questions in class? Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have a question about
Okay. Where you at?
Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 21.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get my trusty notepad.
Did you say 21 or 41, sir?
No, 21.
21.
Oh, first, chapter 5, second Esdras, verse 8.
Okay, one second.
So we have 2nd Esdras chapter 5 and verse 8.
Yes. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be sent out again, And the wild beasts shall change their places, and monsters women shall bring forth monsters.
And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Okay, so what was your question?
What are they saying here? Like monstrous women shall bring forth monsters. I mean, what is that saying?
Take it, what do you think?
Oh, that's like, all right, so it's talking about in today's time, right? It's a future prophecy. So when it says menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, right? Mm-hmm. Look at the kids nowadays. Just look at how the kids behave. Look at how they act. You got young kids that call each other niggas and bitches. I'm sorry for cursing, but they have no respect. They're not trained. It says train a child up in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart. So these children that are out there, they're not being trained in the ways of the Most High. So when you see them, they're monsters. They're literally monsters. All of them right now, they just want to be, from just working in the mall and talking with them, the majority of young, especially Israelite brothers and sisters, of our young Israelite brothers and sisters, the majority of them want to be rappers, strippers. They want to make it in Hollywood. That's all they care about. That's all that's on their mind. They want to be popular on social media. They want to be popular on Facebook or Instagram. They want to be Instagram models. They're monsters. They don't have a purpose. They don't have any goals. Their goals is whatever the media pushes to them. So you can just tell how they behave themselves, you know?
Yeah, you gotta like the brother said, you gotta look at what's going on today. Think about, okay, let's think about like Chicago. Yeah. Think about all the gang violence in Chicago, right? They're all young kids. They're all, I mean, most of them are between the ages, what, 12 to maybe 21? They're still kids. So it's saying that these women are going to give birth to monsters.
I live here all my life.
Yeah, so you know what's going on. Yeah. But look at all the violence that happens. It ain't grown people, it's kids. They're monsters. When it says, there shall be confusion also in many places. See, this is talking about in these times. Think about the confusion where you got a woman and a woman getting married. I was watching something I was on Snapchat, and I seen some dude propose to another dude and then kiss him in his mouth. It's like, what the hell's going on? That's confusion. Yeah. It's confusion for anybody to think they can be with the same sex. Confusion, and that's just one aspect of the confusion. Yeah. You got women in relationships with their husband, where I was watching another video where the Bodak Yellow song came on, Cardi B, in the club, and the chick is like yelling at her dude, like screaming on this cat like she was a man. Yeah. That's confusion for a woman to think that she's a man and act as such. So you said it says confusion in many places, and the fire shall be off sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. Think about it. Think about all the animals that in the sea that beach themselves, all the fish that are jumping out the ocean because of the pollution. See, this right here, this scripture covers a multitude of things that's going on in the earth. Right. You see that? Wild beasts, think about it. Wild beasts want to change places. Think about like a lot of these cities that were built next to like wilderness and things like that. What are the wild beasts doing? They're trying to come in now. Yeah. Because why? What are we doing? We're building on their habitats. Because things are out of order. We think that because we're humans, we can just take over everything. And so where do the wild beasts live? They're going to come sit right in your backyard. You see that?
The other one is chapter 6, verse 21.
Second Esdras, chapter 6, and verse 21.
Oh, go ahead.
And the children of a year old shall speak with their voice. The women with children shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up.
Okay, so we'd have to read up to see what they're talking about. Okay. Second Ezra 6. Let's see. Start at verse 18.
Second Ezra 6 and verse 18. And it said.
And let me just say this real quick. So chapter 6, this kind of goes into like, when you look at it, chapter 6 goes into like creation of the world. It goes into the beginning. It goes into what's going to happen at the end. So if you start with chapter 6 and verse 1, read that real quick.
2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made.
In the what?
In the beginning, when the earth was made.
Go ahead.
Before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew.
Right, so this is going from the beginning, chapter 6, verse 1. So now that we go down, right? And he said for me, yeah, Isaac. So then it starts talking about Esau and Jacob in verse 8 and verse 9, right?
Exactly.
And it starts talking about them. Let's go to, okay, so now your question was in verse 18.
Oh, I see.
So he says, let's go to verse 12 real quick.
Verse 12.
Go ahead.
I beseech thee, show thy servant the end of thy tokens.
Yeah, he's talking about show thy servant the end of the times, right? Go ahead, because we started at the beginning. Now he said, show us the end. Go ahead.
Whereof thou showest me part the last night.
Go ahead.
So he answered and said unto me, stand up upon thy feet, and hear a mighty sounding voice.
Go ahead.
And it shall be as it were a great motion, but the place where thou standest shall not be moved.
Go ahead.
And therefore, when it speaketh, be not afraid, for the world is of the end, and the foundation of the earth is understood.
Go ahead.
And why? Because the speech of these things trembleth and is moved. For it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed. And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up upon my feet, and hearkened, and behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters.
Right, so who's, in Revelations 1 and 14, who had the voice of many waters? Christ. Right? So he's hearing this voice. He told him to stand up and hear the voice. Right? So he said he heard the voice of many waters. Go ahead.
And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw near and visit them. Draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth.
Go ahead.
And will begin to make inquisition of them.
Go ahead.
What they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And when the affliction of Sion shall be fulfilled.
Right, so he said, I'm going to visit them that are on the earth. When the affliction of Zion has been fulfilled. So when our time of slavery is up, what's going to happen? Christ is going to come. See, here goes Christ in the Old Testament. You see that? Go ahead.
And when the world that shall begin to vanish away.
It shall what?
Shall begin to vanish away.
Go ahead.
Shall be finished. Then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament. And they shall see all together. And the children
of... So this is going kind of like into like Revelations where it talks about the seals being broken. Yeah. Right? Let's see here. So I know that verse 20 when verse 21 is speaking symbolically, but I don't know exactly what it's going into, so I'd have to get that for you. I don't want to answer. I don't want to give you the answer to something that I'm not clear on. But it's speaking symbolically. So I'll get that and I'll come back to you on that. All right. Look for it real quick. What did you say? 12? I'm not sure. You're chatting too much. We're supposed to talk. I'm an attorney here in Houston, and I believe I can help establish the Hebrew nation in America and Israel. Once established, every individual will have dual citizenship and the right of return. God, what you got?
It's just 12.
Okay. Yeah, if y'all got questions, go ahead. If y'all got questions online, please go ahead and send those through. As well as possible access to fake Jewish funds. Might take you up on that, Michael. You never know. Might take you up on that, bro. But yeah, this goes. So he said, check this out. He said, I'm an attorney here in Houston, and I believe I can help establish the Hebrew nation. Well, in America and Israel. The only way that the nation is going to be established is if we keep the law. Once established, every individual will have dual citizenship and the right of return, as well as possible access to fake Jewish funds established for the right of return. May even be able to get diplomatic immunity from persecution. This kind of goes right into your class a little bit, right? If you're interested, give me a call. Apologies for interjecting, or being rude, but I have a meeting in 10 minutes. Yeah, if y'all got any questions, anything else? Bree, what's up?
How does Proverbs 31,
Mm-hmm.
how does that justify the woman working for the white man and being a breadwinner of the household?
How does it justify it? Okay, let's go there. Proverbs 31. Let's start at verse. Because basically, so the question is, how does Proverbs 31 justify a woman being the breadwinner, working for Esau, right? Okay. So first, before we even do that, get that? That's right. So we're gonna go to what is it? 1 Peter, 2 Peter. So first, okay, let me ask you a question. Let's do it like this. What is an Israelite man's role? What is his role? What is he supposed to be doing? All right, so we're gonna find out.
It's 1 Peter's chapter 2 and verse 9.
Go ahead. Go to y'all get 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. See, we gotta understand that. Just like we just read in this Esdras, right? I'm gonna go back to it real quick. Esdras chapter 5 and verse 8. The scripture says there shall be confusion in many places, right? See, just like how there's confusion in many places, there's confusion with many people. We're confused on what we're supposed to be doing in this life. See, we think that we're supposed to be athletes, musicians, Walmart employees, mall employees. That's what we think we're supposed to be. See, but that's not what the Most High created us for. He didn't create us to go make the white man rich and build his empire. That's not what you were created for, especially not in this time. Not a man. See, I'm starting with the man first because I'm going to show you. So, go to 1 Peter. Where we at?
It's 1 Peter's chapter 2 and verse 9.
Read that.
But ye are a chosen generation.
So, we're a chosen generation. The Most High chose us, right? It's like we're a chosen people, the Israelites. Remember, we're dealing with Israelite men and women. I don't care about the rest of the world. Dealing with Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. Anybody on that sign? Go ahead.
A royal priesthood.
We're supposed to be what?
A royal priesthood.
So we understand that the men are the priests, right? A priest has a job. That's what a man's job was. And especially now in this time. Obviously, way back in biblical times, there was a priesthood of the Levites. But he said, now we're a chosen generation. We're all kings and priests. We're going to see. Read on.
And a holy nation.
A holy what?
And a holy nation.
Go ahead.
A peculiar people.
Go ahead.
That ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Right. So where was that at?
That's 1 Peter's chapter 2 and verse 9.
There's another one. There's another one that I wanted. It's go to, come on, Laccarado, you know what it is.
Off the same.
Go to Jeremiah. I think it's Jeremiah 1:5.
Oh.
That's it, right?
Ordained to be a prophet.
Is that it?
Yeah. Jeremiah chapter 1 and 5.
No, I don't think that's the one I want. One sec, bear with me. So you got to understand that. That's not the one I want. Is that? Wait. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe we read it. First Peter. Well, yeah. Okay, so the Most High said, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. Right. But you see that? So the men were created as to be the priests of the Most High. So how can a man be a priest if he's working at Walmart? Say it again?
He can do both.
Okay, so in the scriptures, did the priests, did Moses or did Aaron, did they do the work of the Most High and go work somewhere else? No. Just like when Christ, who did he run up on? When he said, I'll make you fishers of men. He said, stop what you're doing and follow me. Right? We'll get it. So you got to understand, you can't, there's no doing both. It's hard to do both. Because now you can't dedicate yourself as a man to the priesthood. You can't dedicate yourself wholeheartedly. Because why? Now I got to battle for this paycheck, right? And show up for that. But then I gotta make sure I got my classes together. I gotta make sure that I'm available for counsel. Imagine if I had to go work for Esau. Hold on, let me finish. I'm gonna use you, because imagine if I had to go to Esau. Imagine how many counsels late night we had. Right? Imagine if I wasn't around to do that. Then what? You see the point?
No, because then in Deuteronomy, God told us that we was going to work for our enemies.
Don't go to Deuteronomy yet.
But I'm just saying.
No, don't go to Deuteronomy yet. Answer my question. If I wasn't, listen.
But then God said we was going to work for our enemies.
Listen. Answer my question.
Back in.
Well, we work. Well, this is the thing. Okay, I'll answer your question. We work for our enemies. Yeah. We built their whole kingdom. So are we supposed to continue to build it? Knowing the information that we know now, having the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High, are we supposed to say, damn, y'all had us in slavery for all this long, let me continue to be a slave?
Aren't we still in captivity?
Of course, but do I still have to work for the white man and build his kingdom and build his Walmart and build his this and build his that and send his kids through college? Or do I have the power now to say, let me establish my own thing? Yeah, right? Because do we not have our own business? We have our own business, right?
Yeah.
Right, we have our own business. So even with that, even with the business that we have, it takes away so much time in the day where you don't have enough time. You could dedicate more time to this. Obviously, the business is geared towards the scriptures. It's geared towards using the wisdom, but it just takes a lot of manpower. So going back, we understand that a man's role, especially in these times, is to be a king and a priest, right? To do the Most High's work. Now, this man's woman, what is she supposed to do?
She's supposed to be the help me. She's supposed to help him.
Right. She's supposed to help him, right? But okay.
Are we supposed to compliment each other and help each
Well, those days are over of complimenting each other.
other? Those days over.
Because the Bible says a woman is supposed to be subject to her husband. She's supposed to submit to her husband. There is no more we're equal. Eve messed that up for you. Right. So now let's go to Proverbs 31 real quick. See, we got to understand one thing, that because you said something about working for Esau, right? Think about it. I'm going to show you something about this Proverbs 31 woman. Because nowhere in here does it say she went and worked for the other nations. Right? So it doesn't say that. But well, I'm going to show you, because you know why? A lot of women are not proactive enough to say, let me start my own thing and not have to work for these nations. How come, are we like some gods that we said, let's create our own business and work it? No. As men, no. Sisters can do it, but they got to put their mind into it. That's all it is. I talk to my rib all the time about trying to find her own, like let's start a business for you that you can do from the house, because she's tired of working for the white man. It's not like she's like, oh yeah, I gotta go to work today, let me go. No.
None of them are like that.
None of them are like that, but guess what it is? It's a means to an end. It's a means to an end. I understand that her job is just a means to an end. Do you understand that?
Now I do, yes.
Why? And you know why she sees it? Because when she goes to work and they treat her like crap and they put all the work on her and make her do this, and then don't pay her for it, don't give her no congratulations for it, but then they'll fire her in 2 seconds. The thought process has to change. But you know what happens after so many firings and hirings and not being appreciated? Then you say, you know what? Let me develop my own thing. You see that? Go to Proverbs. Go to Proverbs 31 and 10.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
So this was a question. Who can find her? Man, you ask that question now, you just hear crickets, right? Because there is nothing virtuous out about this world. Everybody that's out there, there's no virtue in them. Women and men. It's wild, where you have to build that from the ground all the way up. But the question is, who can find a virtuous woman? Go ahead.
For her price is far above rubies.
Yeah, because basically she's priceless. A virtuous woman is going to be priceless. This is going to show you why. Right? Go to read verse 11.
Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
The heart of her husband does safely trust in her.
The heart, why?
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
You see that? His heart, his mind trusts in her. That when he sends her out to go handle whatever business, she ain't gonna mess it up. Oh, you gotta go to work? She got responsibilities, she handles the responsibilities. If he says, listen, babe, I need you to go run to the store, XYZ, do this, that, and that, it's gonna get done. He ain't gotta sit back and be like, damn, I wonder if she's handling that. I wonder if she's messing that up. No. His mind safely trusts in her because she's not gonna let anything that they're doing, trying to build, go to spoil. You see that? Read on.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
You see that? She's going to do him good and not evil all the days of her life because he can depend on her. Right? Read verse 13. Now we're going to get into some points. Read verse 13.
She seeketh wool and flax.
She does what?
She seeketh wool and flax.
So she seeks wool. What do you use wool for? For clothing. What do you use flax? Let's look it up.
Stitching.
Say it again.
Stitching.
Right. Well, let's look it up. Let's make sure. Let's make sure. I like to make sure. I like to make sure that y'all are getting it in there with these definitions. Right?
I forget what it's made of.
Well, that's why we look it up. That's why we look up the definitions. Proverbs 21 and 13.
It says, oh, I got flax.
You got it? Go ahead.
Flax. It says consisting of a single slender stalk, the skin or hurl of which is used for making thread and cloth.
You see that? So she seeks wool and flax. So what is she doing?
Seeking to make.
No, what is this woman doing here in Proverbs 31 and 13? She's working with her hands, but doing what? She's sewing. So she knows how to make garments. She knows how to make clothing. Forget about garments.
Yeah.
We call them garments. She makes clothing, right? So that's one thing that she does. Check this out. This Proverbs 31 woman, you got to understand, it says who can find it didn't say who can find a woman with one virtue. It says she's virtuous, meaning she has more than one thing about her. She's not just single-minded, right? It says she seeketh wool and flax and worketh, read it.
And worketh willingly.
Wait, somebody forces her?
And worketh willingly.
Wait, sis, if you don't do this, we're gonna kick you out the house. What? She does what?
Worketh willingly.
She works willingly. She's willingly working. Go ahead.
With her hands.
Go ahead. Read verse 14.
She is like the merchant's ship.
What is she?
She is like the merchant's ships.
What does a merchant's ship do?
Goods.
Think about it.
Goods.
That's what it does. Think about merchants, merchandise, And a ship, a merchant ship, comes back with merchandise, with goods. So the Bible says she is like a merchant's ship. Read on.
She bringeth her food from afar.
You see that? So she's, what is this woman doing? What does it tell you that this woman is doing? Bree, what is this woman about? First and foremost, taking care of her household. Perfect. Because what is her husband supposed to be doing? He's supposed to be taking care of the house of the Most High. He's supposed to be a priest, especially in these times. He's supposed to be getting himself right to get the people right. So while he's doing that, think about it. How can he do that and then still got to get his whole house right and go, and once again, go work 40 hours a week in Walmart?
Maybe more.
Or more. When is he going to have time to prepare his classes for that day or for the next day? Oh, he got to work every weekend, every Sabbath. So he never around for Sabbath class. He ain't never around for street teaching. He's not really a priest. He's a Walmart worker. Priest on the side. You see that? Is it making sense? It's not making sense. It's not making sense because you don't want it to, or is it not making sense because you really don't understand?
I don't understand that.
So what do you not understand?
What does that have to do with her working for?
Oh, we haven't finished yet. We haven't finished yet. I'm just trying to figure out, do you understand what I'm saying now? At this to this point.
As far as her taking care of the household.
Okay, so what is her house? Okay, so let me ask you a question. The scriptures say she's like a merchant ship, right? How is that merchandise acquired?
She works with her hands.
But what else? She got to have money, right? Where does that money come from?
I guess from her working.
From her doing what?
From her working.
Or is she supposed to sit around and just be lazy?
No.
No, right? So I think what you're not understanding is that there's different works. There's different works. See, when a man fully dedicates, what I'm trying to explain to you is hard for a man to fully dedicate to the Most High and still be entangled in a job. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to give. Go to Most High. Yeah, go get that. You got that?
Yeah.
We're gonna go here real quick. I'm gonna show you.
It's Matthew's chapter.
And hold where you at in Proverbs and go to Matthew's.
It's Matthew's chapter 6 and verse 24.
Mm-hmm. Let me know when you get it. Go ahead, read that.
Matthew's chapter 6 and verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
Because guess what? The Most High is a master. So is the world, right?
Okay.
So we know that here, this is the Most High. The priesthood, the brotherhood, that's the Most High. Everything else is of the world. So it says, read it again.
No man can serve two masters.
Some men can serve two masters.
No man can serve two
But
masters.
there got to be one guy that's powerful enough to do it.
No man can serve two masters.
So no man can serve two masters. No man can do the service of the Most High to his 100% ability and go do his 100% at a job. Because there's not, for one, let's just look at it logically, there's not enough time in the day. Imagine if I had to go work, I'm going to always use Walmart because like everybody wants to go work there. Imagine if I go run and go work, imagine if I'm working at Walmart, right? Let's say today, I have to go work at Walmart. And they say, well, guess what? It's Wednesday, but guess what? Your schedule is from, what, 7 or 12 to 8. But damn, we got class today.
At 7.
At 7. Now what? I know if I don't show up for my shift, what's going to happen? Fired. Because they don't give a damn about me. Right? But if I leave, I'm fired. If I don't show up here, I'm late for class. Right?
Who's going to teach?
Who's going to teach? See, you got to look at it you're looking at, and we're going to bring it back, you're looking at just your household and your situation in a box. The Most High said we're a nation of kings and priests. So this is nationwide. Does that scripture make any sense, Matthew?
Yeah.
Read on.
For either he will hate the one.
Wait. He's going to do what?
Hate the one.
He's going to do what?
Hate the one.
Go ahead.
And love the other.
You see that? So now he has to choose sides. What am I going to do today? Am I going to go to work until 8? Or am I going to show up to class? Now he's in a conundrum. See, I don't got to choose that. I know when there's class at 7, I'm here at 5. Right? Class at what time we get here?
5.
At 5. To be prepared. To be able to answer these questions. To be able to give y'all good classes. Well, guess what? If I was leaving Walmart at 7 to get here at 7, I'd be rushing in. Oh my God, frantic. You ask a question, I can't answer it because I haven't been studying. You see that? So you got to understand that in get Revelations real quick. You got to understand that in coming back to who we are, it's not just coming back to who we are halfway. Like, yeah, I'm coming back to who I am, but I got to go still build this kingdom. No. We understand that what we're going to do, we're going to open up our own businesses, which ever since I've been in the truth, ever since I've been in this camp since 2000, we've always had our own business. We've had many EOs, Eastern Oils, smoothie, hot dog shops, whatever, to keep computer store, to keep brothers from having to go get tied up in the schedule and the hustle and bustle of a 9 to 5. Because think about this also. For brothers spending, think about 8 hours out your day. What is that? 8, 16, 20. That's 1/4 of your day. Right? Spend 8 hours at a job, maybe 9. You spend what? 8 hours of sleep. So you got another half of your day, right? You might spend that other 8 hours just chilling. Think about it. When do you have time to be around your brothers where the scriptures say iron sharpeneth iron? You don't have that time, so you're not getting sharp. Say it again.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The scriptures say iron sharpeneth iron. Get it? It's in Proverbs. Iron sharpens iron. Yes, meaning, yes, when you're with a brother, he's supposed to sharpen you. You're supposed to sharpen him spiritually. But how does that happen when you're not around? When you're stuck at Walmart, Pizza Hut, Domino's. Even if it's your own business and you by yourself, when does that happen? Because you got brothers that say, well, I work my own business. I don't work for the white man. Okay, come. But do you still show up to class? On time? Every class? Hell nah. I remember when I came into the truth, I had a job. I worked for UPS. I didn't miss a class in 3 years. And I was like, man, I'm quitting my job. I'm going to go work with the brothers. Because it was detrimental to my spirit to be around strength. There's nothing but weakness out there. So you spend most of your time engrafted into the world and not around the spirit, what's going to happen? Everything you're learning is going to go in one ear and out the other. Why? Because there's nobody there to show you how to apply it, how it works, how to use it. You see that? You can't exercise it. There is no iron sharpening iron. What's that scripture? You ain't going to read it.
Proverbs 27, verse 17.
Yeah, Proverbs 27 and 17. Iron sharpen iron. So how can a man be sharpened if he's not around the tools to be sharpened with? There's nothing but weakness in the world. Drugs, sex, homosexuality, men being women, act soft, be a simp. Where's the strength? There is none. Because if there was some, we wouldn't need to be in here. So the point is, when does a man strengthen himself? If he's always at work, sleep, home, where does that strength come in? It won't. That's why we have to create an arena to say, look, we got to create something for ourselves so that way brothers could be around brothers. We have businesses that sisters ran and we're in. We had them. So going back to another point you made, that it said that that the sisters got to go work for Esau. You ain't got to go work for Esau. You got sisters in here that work for Elon. You got sisters that work for other nations, but guess what? You know why they can't go work for Israel? Because Israel ain't got a damn thing for them to go work for. That's what we're trying to build. We're trying to build it to where now you can go work for your own people or build your own job. But it starts somewhere, right? See, I don't send my rib off to work and like, yeah, I'm going to get rich off of this. I know damn well we going to get, how long you been working? Half her damn life. And if I'm not rich yet, I know it's not going to happen. I worked most of my life. If I'm not rich yet, it ain't going to happen off no job from Esau or the nations. Because the plan is not for you to get rich. The plan is to keep you in this cycle of debt and working. Debt and working. The more you work, the more a little bit of money you might make, but now I gotta go get me a bigger car. There goes another bill. Now I gotta get so I'm making like an extra 50 cents. Now I can afford those shoes I wanted. But, oh, guess what? Forget the shoes. I'm gonna go for the big purchase. I'm gonna get me the 2017, girl. You gonna get that $600 car note, now you gotta be stuck in work. Then you know what happens? You never build the faith to start your own thing because you're so reliant on that paycheck that you get every 2 weeks, that's guaranteed. You don't say, let me branch out and do my own thing. How many sisters in here ever think about owning their own business? 1, 2, 3. So we got 6, so 3 out of 6. But see, the mind got to be, I don't want to work for nobody. I want to be my own boss and do my own thing. So it's not like, oh, you have to go work for Esau. But guess what? You have to go work for Esau. You know why? Because he runs the world. He has all the jobs. That's why. But is it like, I mean, do we sit there and rely on that? Like, it has to be? No. We understand. I understand Murray can get fired from her job tomorrow. But when we got out here, what happened? You got a job. She was rolling, making them dough. She's in sales and retail. She was making them money, and what did they do? They still fired her. And what do we have to do? Did I panic, lose my mind? Nah. You still made it. Still never was hungry, never was homeless. Because why? Faith in the Most High. Let's jump back to Proverbs. So it said, you will love one and hate the other, right?
Go ahead.
Let's finish Matthew. So now you're going to be stuck having to make a choice between the Most High and my oppressor. Go ahead, read on.
Matthew 6 and 24.
Uh-huh.
And it says, for either he will hate the one,
right,
and love the other.
Go ahead.
Or else he will hold to the one,
uh-huh,
and despise the other.
You see that? So it's going to be this choice where one is going to be hated. Go ahead.
Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
Mammon is money. Scriptures plainly tell us you can't serve both. Because guess what? When you out in that job and killing yourself to be there, and I got to work X amount of hours, and I got to put in like 50 million hours of overtime, you losing balance. How many of y'all got a good work-home balance? How many of y'all got a good work-home balance? Be honest.
What was the question?
How many of you guys have a good work-home balance where you're at work and at home the balanced amount of time? Nobody. Nobody. Because unless you ain't working, unless you're retired. But if you're working, you don't have a good work-home balance because guess what? You're at work more than 40 plus hours a week. You at work more than you at home in this society. This society is built on you working and being there and showing up and putting in the overtime. You make an extra 50 cents on overtime, but they make an extra $500,000 on you. I mean, come on, you got to really see it. Like, the ratio of what you get paid to what they make off you is ridiculous. What's that, Sister Mary?
You're saying serving two masters, meaning that when someone is working that thing by nothing but work, and nothing by serving the other master. You're
right.
Serving work. But now when Adam committed the sin, he told Adam that he have to work
Right, right. But see, do we still work hard? Do we not work hard in that damn wall?
We have to work for everything we get.
But guess what it is? It's more of a spiritual work.
Yeah.
We got to use our minds more than our bodies in there.
All right.
We still work. We still get, listen, who do you think pays this school? Who do you think pays the school rent? It's off the brothers' works, that mall. The same very mall you met us in. That's what pays this. And yes, there's other brothers and sisters that help. They help, they give alms, they give offering. I'm not going to discredit what they do. But for the majority, the whole reason why we have the business is so that we don't have to rely. So that if a person say, well, I can't pay my alms, I can't pay this, I can't pay that, we still come up with it. We have the means to say, look, okay, we just got to go up in that mall, hit a little bit harder, and we're going to make sure the rent is paid. The lights are paid. The internet's paid so y'all can get class. For those of you online, we do class regardless if there's no internet or not. But you see the point? Go to Acts chapter 6 and verse 2. Go to Acts 6 and verse 2.
Acts chapter 6 and verse 2. Give me a comment, y'all get it. Acts chapter 6 and verse 2. Then the 12 called the multitude of the disciples unto them.
Go ahead.
And said, it is not reason that we should leave the word of God.
We shouldn't do what?
It is not reason that we should leave the word of God.
So these were the disciples, the men. There's no reason that we should leave the word of God and do what?
And serve tables.
And do what?
And serve tables.
Yeah. Why am I going to leave the word of the Most High to go be a servant? Why am I going to give up the service that I was created for to go do somebody else's service? It don't make no sense. Go to Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14.
Because the reason why I started out the way I did to show you that the Most High created us to do a service to Him. Right? That's what He created us to do, not to go build Walmart and make Walmart rich. It just so happened that, in us losing everything, identity-wise, that we think that, I got to go be the next great athlete, or I got to go be the next great entertainer. Even that ain't got nothing to do with the Most High, so it's foolishness. I don't give a damn about how much money LeBron James is making. He ain't talking about the Most High, so it don't matter. How many people today ask us, man, y'all watch the game? And I don't watch no damn game. Care about LeBron? I don't have time.
LeBron don't care about us.
LeBron ain't doing nothing for me. He ain't helping this school. There was a time when I used to be into it, yes. I used to be into all of my little sports. Baseball, my Yankees, Green Bay, my football, basketball, whatever team was winning, right? Music. All the shows, concerts. Now I'm like, I don't give a damn. Right. If I got time, I might mess with it. But then guess what? Even in the time that I have, I got to dip my head in here. This is where I got to be at. This is where I got to be at. I got to be either here or at that mall. And half the time I'm at the mall, I'm still in the book. But if I was at some other job trying to do that, it wouldn't work. Read that, Jeremiah 2 and 14.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
And it says, is Israel a servant?
Is what?
Is Israel a servant?
That's a question. Are we supposed to be servants? Are we? But see, it seems like some people want us to just continue to be in servitude to these nations. But that's the question. Is Israel a servant? Go ahead.
Is he a homeborn slave?
Yeah, you a damn house Negro? You a homeborn slave. See, the sad part is, they don't got to put the chains on you and round you up and do all that. You a slave to that paycheck. You got a lot of brothers out there that are simps and slaves to their paycheck. They have no faith. They have no understanding. The most part is they ain't got no faith in the Most High. So they believe that if I don't go to this 9 to 5 and let them dictate my life, I ain't going to make it. I haven't been to a 9 to 5 in, it's been some years now. And I get what I need. and it's not all coming dependent off my rib. That's the thing. It's not all coming off of her. You see that? I'm not like mooching off of her. You get what I'm saying? It's not all just coming off of her or out of her pay or her job. Is it?
Wow.
She's right here. She'll tell you. It's not. Go to, let's go back to Proverbs now. So we understand, what did you have? We understand that there's a role that a man's supposed to play, but he can't do his role if his mind is divided. You can't be 100% efficient if your brain is divided between the Most High and the world. If you're divided between the Most High and money. Because then it's like, well, what if my pursuit for money gets greater than my pursuit for the Most High? You're going to leave off the Most High and continue to pursue that money.
Right.
And you're going to leave off your intended job. You see that? Let's go. So we dealt with the man. Let's pull what you got.
It's St. John chapter 21. We're going to start at verse 15. 15 through 17.
Yeah. Yep.
Give me a comment, y'all get it?
Yep.
Good. St. John.
All right. I'm going to read
St. John chapter 21 and verse 15.
through 17. And it says, so when they had dined, Christ said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lambs. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lambs. Feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Christ said unto him, Feed my sheep.
And you got go ahead. Go ahead.
We can't serve God and mammon. We can't be serving mammon and be able to feed the Most High sheep. We can't do it. We can't be lifting boxes at Walmart, delivering packages at FedEx, and feed the Most High sheep. It's impossible for a man to do it. For us to be able to feed the sheep correctly and efficiently and constantly, we got to be well studied. We got to be well studied. We got to be well nurtured also and well practiced in what we study, so that when we're teaching them, when we're feeding the sheep, we're feeding them correctly and efficiently. Because there's a scripture that also says that there's a famine in the land. And the famine is not of food or water. The famine is of knowledge of the Most High. So when you look out in the world right now, especially in these days, there's no knowledge of the Most High. There's truly a famine. You worked in the mall. A lot of us go to the malls. We work. We see how real this famine is. We see it on TV. We see how these kids are coming up. So a change has to be made. And that famine that they're lacking is knowledge of the Most High. So our job is to feed them. Feed the sheep. They're the sheep. They're the ones that need to be led. And we're the leaders. We gotta study and train to be leaders so that we can feed them. Because you see how it is, man. There's no getting out. There's no other way. You're going to work. You're able to work at 16. You're going to work from 16 till you're able to retire. And that's it. You're going to work paycheck to paycheck. That's it. Well, we got to change the cycle. It has to start from somewhere. Because I remember working at FedEx. It's like $20 to deliver one envelope. I was getting paid like $18-19 an hour. If you have a worldly mindset, you're like, man, I'm getting paid a lot of money. I'm getting paid a lot of dough. You're delivering one envelope. You go to one drop box, there's 200 envelopes in there. So you get paid $20 for 1 hour, but you go to one drop box that takes 5 minutes to get to open, to deliver. To get in process.
Yeah, that's like $5,000 and they're worth
$5,000. They made that off of you in 5 minutes, but you're getting paid $20 for the whole hour. You might go to multiple of those drop boxes, and they just made what, 50,000 off of you in 1 hour, but you got 20. When I was working at Ross, they made $40,000 to $80,000 every night. Weekend, weekday, or weekend.
You made like $100 of that in a day.
No, not in a day. People were getting paid $200 every 2 weeks, but they were making $40,000 to $80,000 a night. So it was like, are we slaves or what? The Most High chose. Yeah,
you a homeborn slave? Yes.
So it's like we got this knowledge now. The Most High, we know we're supposed to be prophets. We know we got to feed the sheep, wake these people up. We can't waste our time with that. Us as being the men, us as being the leaders. Because the scripture says the flock, the Most High said, the flock of my pasture are men. So we are the men. We're the ones that have to go out and lead them. We're the ones that have to get ourselves right so that we can go out and get them right. So that this can stop. Because the world is out of course, man. It's out of course. At this point, everybody's a slave. Everybody. You go to college and you pay all this money to get a decent job where you're making $100,000. You might not get the job when you graduate. You might not get that job that you went to college for. But you still got to pay that debt. And that debt might be $200,000, $300,000. And you got this education that you're not even using. And now you're really in a hole. You got this college degree, and now you got to work at McDonald's or whatever. You'll never pay that debt off. So you're constantly in a hole. So our job is simply to feed the sheep.
And you know, the thing about this scripture too, think about it. A shepherd is over the sheep, right? Supposed to watch for them, feed them, care for them. If he's somewhere else, what's going on with them sheep? They're getting ripped apart by wolves. They ain't getting fed. They're getting dirty. There's nobody taking care of them. So you got to now look at yourself and say, is that what I want for me? Do I want my mind to be ripped apart and nobody there to give me counsel in class and this and that? Because that's what would happen. Real quick, one more example, then we're going to go back to Proverbs. Give me Matthew chapter 4 and verse 17. Just to show you what men should be doing when it comes to getting this word. Because we have this misconception of a man's role and a woman's role. Let's go. Read Matthew chapter 4 verse 17.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 17. Give me a call when y'all got it, please. All right, verse 17.
Verse 18.
Verse 18.
Hold on, 17. Go ahead.
Verse 17. From that time, Christ began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
So Christ was doing his job. Yahweh Shai was doing his job. He was teaching the kingdom, right? Repent, change. So he's on his job, right? So let's see what else happened. Read on.
And Christ, walking by the sea of Galilee, saw two brethren.
Go ahead.
Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother.
So you see Simon and Andrew. Simon and Andrew were on their jobs also. Read on.
Casting a net into the sea.
Yeah, because they were fishermen. So they were doing their jobs. So they thought. Read.
For they were fishers. And
they were what?
For they were fishers.
Go ahead.
And he said unto them, follow me.
That's all he said was what?
Follow me.
Read on.
And I will make you fishers of men.
We're supposed to be what?
Fishers of men.
Fishers of fish?
Fishers of men.
I gotta get that done.
Fishers of men.
Yeah, a man's job is to be a fisher of men. We're supposed to be bringing other men to Christ. Go ahead.
And they straightway left their nets.
They right away. They didn't argue, rebuttal, but what about the fish and my dad and blah, 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 blah. I said they did what?
And they straightway left their nets.
Go ahead.
And followed him.
You see that? Go, keep reading.
Verse 21. And going on from thence, he saw other two brethren, James the son of Zebedee.
Go ahead.
And John, his brother,
Go ahead.
and a ship with Zebedee, their father,
Go ahead.
mending their nets. And he called them. And they immediately left the ship and their father.
They did what?
And they immediately left the ship and their father.
Go ahead.
And followed him.
You see that? These men that had jobs, they were fishermen. These dudes were with their dad in the boat and was like, nah, we out. Because they realized that this wasn't their profession. Their profession was to follow Christ and then lead other men to Christ through example. There's no way for you to be an example if you ain't around. See, they got immediately they got these things. Immediately. It didn't take 10, 15, 30 years to say, damn, let me battle and go through all the trials and tribulations. Nah, they were like, nope, this is our purpose, to follow Christ and the Most High. Let's go back to Proverbs 31. You get that part so far? Okay, let's go back to Proverbs 31.
Proverbs chapter 31.
31.
In verse 14.
Right?
She is like the merchants. She is like the merchant ships.
So this woman, this virtuous woman, she's bringing goods back to her house. Right? Go ahead.
And bringeth her food from afar.
Go ahead.
She riseth also while it is yet night.
She does what?
She riseth also while it is yet night.
Go ahead.
And giveth meat to her household.
So she's cooking, right? She ain't just laid up all day into the night, into the sleep, into the next morning. She rise up and giveth meat to her household. Go ahead.
And a portion to her maids.
She's even taking care of her maids. So they ain't even left out. So she's taking care of her whole house. Think about it. She had maids. And she still did all this.
Yeah. Verse 15. She riseth also while it is yet night.
Oh, excuse me, it says maidens.
Maidens.
Right. Other women of the house, right? Go ahead.
She considered a field and buyeth it.
She did what?
She considered a field and buyeth it.
So this woman was what?
Considered a field and buyeth it.
You know what this woman was? She was proactive. How can she buy anything without dough, without money? She couldn't. She wouldn't be able to. She wouldn't be able to. She would not be able to buy anything without money. So it's showing that she worked. See, what you have to understand, Bree, is that when the man, I think, again, it's faith. When a man is doing his job according to what the Most High wants, the will of the Most High, teaching the people, and if his wife is doing her job, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. Yeah. Believe it or not. I know you're like, how? I know you're like, how? But see,
I don't have a problem with working.
Right.
I'm just saying, shouldn't it be 50-50?
Well,
Work together and build.
Well, this is the thing. We just went through it. What is a man's job? According to the Bible, we went to Old Testament, New Testament. According to the Bible, what is a man's job? Yes, he's the overseer of his whole house, right? But, okay, think about it like this. What about the dudes that got all the dough? Or they come 50-50, and they got zero wisdom. What about them? They're coming with the money, right? But now they don't have the capacity to guide their household. So guess what's happening? I'm making dough, but now I'm gonna go spend it on the kicks. I gotta have the expensive vehicle. I'm gonna make bad choices in the bar. I'm gonna go spend it over here on this vacation. But damn, I forgot to pay the rent, dog. I forgot to. My money management skills ain't there. My wisdom ain't there, so I forgot to pay the things of the house. Like, damn, instead of going out and eating out every single day, 10, 15 bucks a meal, let me go get some groceries. And see, you don't need that much wisdom to know that. You just got to understand that, damn, the way my bank account's set up, Kevin Hart said, right? It ain't set up to support $15 a day eating out. But see, what about that? What about that man that's coming 50-50, but he ain't coming with no wisdom? What would you rather? That's what you got to ask yourself. You rather a man that's coming with 50-50 and ain't got no wisdom? He can't guide your children. He can't guide you.
No, it's not what I'm saying.
I know that's not what you're saying, but this is how you have to look at it. Because again, a man can't serve two masters. Truthfully, a woman can't, no one can serve two masters. Why you think the battle for women is so much harder in the truth that do have to go out and work? Because their time is split. They can't show up to class as much. I can't tell you the last time I missed a class just because of like some reason other than
Not in the mall.
not in the mall.
Not in the city.
Right, or not in the city. It's hard. That's why you think it's hard. Why you think you sisters get attacked so hard? Because you know why? That job is your escape from the spirit. Yeah, I said it. What's up, Camila?
So I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So, like, how the brothers are expected to be committed into the Most High or into the camp,
Uh-huh.
pretty much 100%. And so, why are the wives kind of like we have to do kind of everything? We have to work outside the house,
Uh-huh.
in the house, for the camp. It's like we working literally 24/7. I mean, I don't have no kids, so I don't know how it is for the sisters that have kids.
Uh-huh.
I cannot honestly imagine how they like finish to them doing it.
Uh-huh.
But I myself, like, I struggle with that because I'm like, I work my butt off at my job.
Right?
My husband expects me to, I cannot say expect me to, but he wants me to, you know, we need to
No, he expects you to.
we need to make sure that we good.
Right.
Money-wise,
Right.
we need to make sure that if he want me to be, like, in the class and everything, it's like, and sometimes I'm, like, so mentally and physically drained that I can do it.
Right.
And then, you know, it's a big issue. So it's like, why it's so much expected from us to be doing outside and inside,
Mhm.
and men can do it.
You know why? Because, for one, what y'all are not understanding is there's balance there. See, you're looking at your job outside the school as an actual job when it's not. That's the problem. You're looking at it as an actual job and not as a means to an end. It's not a job.
But we need a job.
Listen to what I'm saying. No, you need to make money, right?
Right.
We all do. So let me ask you a question. You see what we do in the mall, right?
Yeah, I see.
You see what we do, right?
I see.
Is it like just like people just run up like, hey, here's all the money and no, right?
No.
Because for one, we work in the mall. Listen, if I gave y'all my schedule, it blows away any sister's schedule in here. She can tell you that. My rib can tell you my schedule blows away any sister's schedule in here that's sitting here right now. So there's nothing to be said as far as you're doing more, because you're not. You're not. I still deal with my kids. Brothers still deal with their kids. Right?
Yeah.
Still have my son, when I'm not in the mall, I got him. You see that? Still got to prep a class. Still got to do class. Up for counsel. Phone stay blowing up. Because that's my job. See, ain't nobody saying, listen, before you want
No,
to talk.
I'm just frustrated about the
Hold
whole
on, let me finish though. Again, let's go back to Proverbs. I'm gonna show you something. I asked the question, how many sisters in here thought about owning their own business? 3 people raised their hands. Right? Before Edith came in. Did I ask that before you came in?
No, you asked someone else.
Okay, 3 sisters raised their hands, I believe. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So less than half, right? Let's go back. Let's go back to Proverbs. I'm going to show you something. It says, let's read verse 16.
She considereth a field.
Okay, she considers a field. What is a field used for? You can do anything you want on a field. You can go, at this time, she could go plant some crops. She could go grab her a goat or 2. Right? So what is it saying about this woman? What is it saying about this woman that considers a field? She don't just think about it like, damn, I'm tired of my job. I'm looking at this building. Maybe I should do something about it. She considers the field. Read on.
And buyeth it.
So she's proactive and then she acts. She said, you know what? Let me do my own thing. You see that? So ain't nobody telling you gotta go work for Esau. You don't have to.
That's what I was told.
Well, what I'm telling you is this. You don't have to. Be proactive and start your own business.
I'm just saying that's what I was told, and I don't like the fact that all the pressure has to be on me.
All the pressure is not on you.
No, yes, I've said I feel that way because I'm not trying to put all my business out there, but my husband makes me feel that way. Like he tells me that I have to get us out of, our situation. I have to get us out of here. I have to go and work. I have to provide. I have to.
And what do I?
Nothing for me, and I
What
have to depend on
do I always tell you?
I have to depend. He wants me to do everything. I gotta depend on Esau to help me, and he won't help me. He's not doing anything to help me.
What do I always tell you, Bree?
It's like I'm in this situation by myself. I'm carrying.
But you're not.
Yes, I am. He's making me feel like I'm in this by myself.
But you're not.
I'm frustrated.
But you're not.
And he's telling me everything I have to do, and so quick to throw scriptures at me and tell me I need to do this and I need to do that, and he don't apply it himself.
But
He
you're
don't
not.
treat me like I'm his wife. He treat me like I'm dirt. And that hurts me because I'm carrying his kids and he treated me like that. That's not fair. So that's why I brought this up. That's why I'm frustrated about the whole situation. I'm like, damn, I might as well be out there by myself and struggle by myself. If he's just gonna live up under me and expect me to do everything, that's not fair.
He's not expecting you to do everything.
Yes, he is, because he's telling me to do everything.
He's not telling you to do everything. How? He's working.
I asked him, he's working. He said that he's making all this money.
We don't gotta discuss all that.
No, I'm putting it out there. I'm venting.
Okay, well then vent. Go ahead.
He said how he's making all this money out in Arizona. I just got my car back. My uncle gave me my car back. It cost $864 for me to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
I just got approved for FEMA. And I told my uncle, just take that half of the money and I'll give you the other half. I asked my husband, can you help me pay to get my car fixed? Can you help me pay my uncle so we won't have to buy another car? He tells me it's my car. I have to get a job and do it myself. But you got the money. But you're so quick to give everybody else money and don't provide for your own household. And
So let me ask you this. Okay, let me stop you there real quick. So now you putting obviously you
I'm putting it
but okay, so right.
That's not fair.
Have you hit me up about it?
I'm tired of coming out about it because y'all take his side.
Nobody took it. What are you talking about?
When I told you, when I came to you, when I asked, told you when I was pregnant, Bray needs to get a second job to help me provide for our child. Times is hard. You told me I have to do it, and I have to work for the white man, and that's what you told me I had to do. And I'm like, how is that?
You got to work too.
I have to work too. I don't
Okay,
mind working,
so listen, hold on. So since we put it out there, when's the last time we're not gonna vent it all. But all I'm saying is this, sis. Understand your role and understand his role.
I understand my role, but he has to work with me too.
So let me ask you a question, sis. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you worked?
Back in September.
Okay, that's the point. So you're
but
not.
I'm looking.
Hold on. Stop.
Stop.
You're not doing anything on your own.
Yes, I am. I gotta depend on the government to get an apartment and raise my helping me get an
You're
apartment.
not doing everything on your own because brothers and sisters are here helping you. Are they not? Are they not?
But I can't depend on them. I can't depend on them.
What are you talking about? You've been dependent on us and we've been helping you. What are you saying? See, once again, it goes to this lack of faith.
It's not lack
Oh
of
yeah,
faith.
it is.
I'm
Because guess what? You ain't homeless. You ain't starving. We've been helping. That's the thing. You think that it's supposed to go the way the world tells you it's supposed to go. Of course it is. That's what we're supposed to do is depend on one another. That's what the body is for, sis. That's what it's for. See, you're young. You never were taught these things in life. You ain't been through this before, so you think that it's supposed to go the way you've seen it go. That's why I had to break it down to you like this. See, it's frustrating when you try to take control of everything.
I'm not trying to
Let me finish.
Let me
finish. It gets frustrating when you try to take control and things don't go the way you want it to go. Let the Most High take it. That's the way it's going. See, it's hard to be mad now and try to look for the counsel now when we gave the counsel before all this and it wasn't followed and it wasn't applied. See, we try to help avoid all this. So don't get frustrated now.
And then y'all said
Don't get hold on. Don't get frustrated now and try to blame now when we've been helping and been counseling and been giving the wisdom through the scriptures. That's what we've been doing.
Y'all said so. You and Thawam said that when y'all found out that me and Ray was married, that he has to get a job.
Right.
To help us.
There was a reason why. There was a reason why.
That makes no sense. And then
Sis, there was a reason
when he got pulled over by the cops, you told me that's because the Most High is telling him he don't need to work for the white man. That makes no sense.
And that's gonna go right into the class. It's beautiful. It's gonna go right into the class.
If y'all told him to do it, y'all told him to
there was a
reason,
sis. There was a reason why. See, I don't want to put this man's business out. He's not here to talk about what's going on. You see what I'm saying?
Ross tell y'all one thing and make me look bad.
Listen.
I got messages.
Listen. He ain't here to defend himself, so I don't want to go into it like that. But there was a reason why we told him that. And you know why.
I don't know why. Because y'all told him to look for a job one minute. Next minute he get pulled over by the cops and you said that's the Most High telling him that he don't need to be working for the white man. That makes no sense to me.
How does it not make sense? Because you know why it doesn't make sense?
Y'all told him to look
You know why it doesn't make sense, sis? Because you don't understand the Bible. You don't understand the Most High. That's why. You don't understand. That's all it is. Let's chalk it up to you lacking understanding. Because that's what it is. The Most High speak once, yea, twice, but men perceive it not. So then what he got to do? He got to check your ass in the middle of the streets with cops and getting pulled over and tickets and all these things. Because you know why? He was in a place where he shouldn't have been. But guess what? How many times did Ray get pulled over while he was at the mall or headed to the mall? It never happened. It never happened. Because when you're doing what the Most High wants you to do, when you do his will, he going to protect you. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to go right into the class. We're going to go right into the class because that's what this class is about.
Perfect. Perfect. So,
what's going on?
Oh, we had a question. I don't think we're just going to class or hold the questions.
No, we could. Let's go back to Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 16. Let's go back to that real quick because there's more points in here.
Proverbs chapter 31 verse 16.
So this woman, this proactive woman, she does what?
She considereth a field.
Go ahead.
And buyeth it.
Go ahead.
With the fruit of her hands, she planted a vineyard.
So she ain't worried about what everybody else is doing. She's doing what she got to do. Y'all see that? She's proactive saying, listen, well, I got to provide for my family. I got to make this happen. I got to make that happen. It don't matter what he's doing because her mind is what? My man is doing what he's supposed to be doing according to the scriptures. Okay. He's being a priest to the Most High. You see that? So I'm going to do my part. Right? Whatever my part may be. Read on.
She girdeth her loins with strength.
She does what?
She girdeth her loins with strength.
So she's a strong sister. Go ahead.
And strengtheneth her arms.
Go ahead.
She perceiveth that her merchandise is good.
Go ahead.
Her candle goeth not out by night.
You see that? She keeps her talents going. That wisdom is always flowing. Read verse 19.
She layeth her hands to the spindle.
Oh, there she goes working again somehow. Go ahead.
And her hands hold the distaff.
Go ahead.
She stretcheth out her hand to the poor.
So on top of working for her household, she's doing what?
She stretcheth out her hand to the poor.
So she ain't just thinking about her damn self, because she's doing what?
Stretcheth out her hand to the poor.
Go ahead.
Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy.
Yeah, so she's worried about the needy, not just of her own household, but to other people. See, that's the problem. A lot of us want to worry about me, woe is me, woe is me. But guess what? If you took your eyes off yourself for a minute and worried about the next man, the woes that you're going through might be helped by the next person next to you. That's the whole point of a body. See, the world tells us, let me do it all by myself. But woe to that man that's left alone. That's what the Bible says, right?
Okay.
But see, when you're in the body and you're doing the work of the Most High and the will, and you got other people that are like-minded around you, guess what happens? You need something? I got it. I need something? You might have it or might not, but the next brother might have it. And it's this perpetual just giving. That's how it should be, at least. That's the want. That's the thought, right? Read on.
21. She is not afraid of the snow for her household.
Yeah, guess what? She ain't gonna make no damn excuses. Oh, it's snow, it's cold, it's hot, it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too rainy. Because her household needs things. What is it saying? Is she just stuck up in the house? Read it again.
She is not afraid of the snow for her household.
Yeah, because her household needs. So she ain't gonna let weather dictate whether she goes out and gets her damn money or not. She ain't gonna let weather dictate whether she goes out and plants in this field. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
For all her household are clothed with scarlet.
You see that? Read on.
She maketh herself coverings of tapestry.
Uh-huh.
Her clothing is silk and purple.
So she's trying to get the best for her household. Through what? Through working. She considered a field and bought it. That's the thing. This woman was working for herself. So, you know why it's like you got to go out there and work for them? Because do you have the skills to run a business?
I can.
You can, right? Then instead of I can, why not let me see that I can? Do. That's the point. That's the whole point. Is let me do it and not think I can or not conjure up just thoughts, but let me actively do it. But see, again, slaves to the paycheck, slaves to society, it's like, let me be faithless and just go rely on them. Listen, relying on the government is no different than relying on the damn Edomite or the other nations for money. It's the same damn thing. It's the same thing. If you don't see that, you gotta show up and clock in to get that dough. And bust your ass 3 times more than what you're worth. Let's get that straight. It ain't no different than showing up in a damn government line for some food stamps. You gotta show up, drive there, show up, stand in line for X amount of hours. Think about how many people went up north to go get some FEMA food stamps and stood in line for 8 damn hours. For like $400. Think about it. It's no damn different. It's no different. All they do is put a title on it. Oh, you're going to go to work. No, they might as well tell you you're going to slavery. That's what it is. See, stop giving so much credence to these jobs out here that don't give a damn about you. You will be hired and fired in the same day. I've been through it. You'll be hired and fired in the same week. I've been through it. You'll be hired and fired in the same month. I've been through it. You get fired on your damn day off, Craig.
You know what's crazy about when they fire you? They don't give you a 2-week notice when they fire you so that you can go and find another job.
What did they do? What did they do to the sister? They gave her a, we're suspending you without pay. Right?
Yeah.
I already know what that means. If I'm suspended without pay and I'm not a police officer, that means I'm getting fired.
Yeah, you're done.
You're done. Because they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. You shouldn't either. You shouldn't be wanting to push your man out there to the wolves. You should be like, well, let me figure out something. How do where's this field at that I can buy and plant in? Where is it at? Let me figure out my talent. So now I can use it to do what? Build my family, build my household. There's plenty of people that do it. There's plenty of people that don't rely on Macy's and Dillard's and Walmart and Hot Topic and Vitamin World and FedEx and UPS, and they make a living. There's plenty of people that do it. But they have to want to do it. Sister Mary.
What I'm saying, I understand what you're saying, but like I said, me, I had the children.
Uh-huh.
I did my duty in the household, and a man's supposed to do his. I carried the children. I nursed them. I
Right.
lived far.
What's a woman is supposed to do?
Wait a minute. You can't get out and work and carrying the baby, and then you got to nurse the baby and everything. So a woman is really doing actually more than a man.
Listen, this is the thing.
Now,
A household, a functioning household has how many parents? 2, right? How many of y'all grew up in a 2-parent household? I rest my case. I rest my case. Less than half of us. So how do you know who did more work, who's doing more work or not? It's not obvious. It's not obvious.
I don't mean
Because think about it. How as a man? Okay, we know that a man's not going to breastfeed a child. Is he supposed to? Because a woman, I mean, if you want to get super technical, I could break it all the way down. Is he supposed to breastfeed? No.
No, but he's supposed.
He's supposed to be there for his kids, right?
Supposed to help support.
Right.
Not say help support. He's supposed to. The woman is one that carried him, carried the children. So he's supposed to support that. Because when my husband there never said I had to get out and go to work and make the money.
That's fine.
I can't take care of the household and
Right.
get the children.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not, listen, I'm going to say this. Let's bring some balance. Every household is different. Every household is different. Where you do have it, but think about it. When a woman is not working, let's go back to the main point that I established in the beginning. When a man is working for the Most High, when a man is doing the work of the Most High, right? 24/7 of his life. That means he's not out there working for somebody else. So what's going to happen? Is he going to have the luxury of saying, hey, babe, you don't got to never work? No.
That's not what I'm doing.
I know that. I'm just trying to show you where I based my point from. You got to remember, what am I just making things up out of the top of my head, or am I going according to the scripture? Again, I rest my case. Here goes another. See, this is why I love this sister. We can go there too. Let's go to Matthew 6 and verse 33. What's up?
I just wanted to say something.
No, go ahead.
Because it's definitely a huge lack of understanding. Because even when I came into the truth, you know, I had my days and my issues with what, you know, what your job was here when you got here and what my job was when you got here. And in the world, we both worked, we had money, we were going on vacations, we didn't want for anything, was sitting a little bit more than comfortable. But we went through.
Speak it.
We went through hell and shit and crap. And I'd rather be in the truth, struggling paycheck to paycheck, battling,
Then
be
what?
out in the world and
Than having a husband for a beast.
yeah,
A beast for a husband.
yeah.
Because a man without understanding is a what? A beast. So you got to ask yourself, I'll let you come right in. Do I want a man that is a beast, or do I want a man that's righteous?
Can't have both.
Or at least trying to be.
Or at least trying to be righteous.
What if
See, the whole thing is this, sis. The whole thing is this. See, I'm going to say this.
What if they're
I'm going to say this. Let me stop. Or you stop talking. I'm going to say this. See, it's messed up that you want to you air it out here, but I haven't heard from you. I haven't heard from you what? In the last what?
I stopped.
So what are you following?
What do you mean?
You see, what scriptures you following? If I haven't heard from you, I haven't got no. All these things you're voicing right now in the wrong place, I haven't heard from you to deal with. So how are we going to deal with him on it if we don't hear from you? We've been dealing with him.
I stopped coming to y'all because it's,
And that's your fault.
I mean, it's nothing.
Nobody said
I come
not to come to us.
If nothing is helping, I come to y'all. He doesn't apply. I'm not saying that that's not. That's
Okay, so does that mean you stop?
I'm not saying I give up. Yes, I do give up because if he, how long am I supposed to tolerate that? Him talking to me, telling me to shut the F up and
okay,
how long
listen.
do I have to tolerate that? He said that it's okay. He tell me it's okay to go through verbal abuse.
Listen, nobody said that. Now you're taking it somewhere else.
That's what he's saying, according to the scripture.
But guess
That's
what?
what he's told me.
I didn't hear that.
That's what he's told me.
I didn't hear that, so that would have been checked.
I can show you what he said.
It don't matter now because guess what? You bringing it at the wrong time, sis.
I mean,
And I don't want to say it don't matter, but you're bringing it. So you should have vented at a different time. That's the point.
When's the right time?
You can hit me up at any time. You know that. Because guess what? You know why you could hit me up at any time? because I'm available 24 hours of the day. I'm not caught up at Walmart. I'm not caught up at some job that is going to take away from me having to deal with whatever issue you got. You picked the wrong time to vent your business out there and try to make this man look like. But the point is this.
It's out of hurt.
I understand that.
I'm sitting here carrying this
But
man's children and he treating me like I'm shit. Like, that's not fair.
Listen.
And telling me that to shut the F up about my opinion.
Listen. Can you please listen?
That don't sound like that scriptures to me. He don't know.
And guess what you should have did? You should have hit me up when that was happening. That's the point. That's the whole point. To throw it out now, what's the point? You should have said something then. So we could have dealt with it. You trying to bring it out now like he ain't here to defend himself? I don't know what the hell was said. We're all gonna be frustrated, sis. But to do good and to communicate, forget not. That's what the Bible says. You forgot to communicate.
I'm tired of communicating.
Well, you can't get tired. Listen, the Bible said, let's go there real quick. You can't get tired.
It's not helping
sis,
at all.
You can't get tired of communicating. You can't get tired of communicating. You can't get tired of doing something you only been doing for 3 months.
Okay, but how long are you supposed to tolerate that? Like, how are you going to treat me like that? How you treat our kids?
Listen, you can't get tired of communicating when you haven't even been communicating.
I've been communicating.
You haven't.
I open up, I talk, I ask for help, I go to sisters. Like, what else am I supposed to do?
Keep communicating, sis.
And like, just continue to deal with that. I mean, I've dealt with enough abuse growing up as a kid, and I got to deal with it from my own husband.
You got to keep letting us. You didn't let us know what was going on. That's the problem.
I'm tired of letting y'all know what's going on because
you can't be tired, sis. You can't be tired of letting us know what's going on, because you expect miraculous changes. But see, but then watch this. But hold on, let me talk. Because then what? You want this man to go run off to Walmart so he can get even worse than what he is? That's what you want?
We need help.
That's what you want? That's what you want, sis?
So much diapers cost, cribs, everything, like.
You're not even there yet.
He expects me to do everything on my own.
Listen, answer the question. Is that what you expect?
He wouldn't even give me money.
Sister,
when it was talking about ultrasound.
Breathe. Is that what you expect?
I just expect him to help me. That's all.
Listen to the way. Listen to the way you're depicting things now. They only get worse when the man's not around the spirit and not around the things that help guide his mind. They only get worse. So answer the question. Is that what you want? Things to get worse?
I want things to get better.
Okay, so guess what we're doing? Guess what we're doing? We're trying to help you get things better.
But you have to work and he don't have to.
For one, that's what I said this whole time, was that he don't do nothing. Is that what I said this whole time, sis?
No, but that's how I look at it.
Because you're not looking at it through a scriptural mind. That's why.
I'm not understanding how that.
Because you don't want to understand.
I'm trying to understand.
Because if you wanted to understand, you wouldn't be going off the way you're going. Davashaya, what's up?
I mean, I just wanted to say something. Like I told her when she first told me, I was one of the first people that she told about being pregnant, and I've constantly told her that if she ever needed help, there's sisters here. Like Shawashna has a baby. She's not worried about where clothes and diapers and stuff is gonna come from.
Because why? What does Shawashna have? That
she has help.
No. What's the F word?
Faith. She has faith.
Right. I just got a text from a sister that's watching. She stopped communicating with me. I mean, if you want to blast it, I can blast it too. But that's not what it's about. See, you stopped communicating. So you can't, of course you're going to be frustrated. You ain't following the Bible. It says the Spirit of the Most High is not frustrated.
I'm not. The reason why I stopped communicating is I feel like I'm not getting any solutions. Again.
You keep using the word I, feel like, and me. Because that's all you're looking at.
Based off I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any solutions from my
You're looking at just what you feel.
It's only getting worse, and I do have faith. I do have faith in Jehovah. But I don't have faith in my husband because how he treats me, how he acts towards me.
Well, that's a whole different story. You don't got to air that out right now, sis. That's a whole different thing.
If this is the truth, and this is what you want me to
This is the whole thing.
Be helping me understand it.
But guess what? Again, I'm gonna say it. Before you laid with that man, we told you not to. Because why? He was still learning. And guess what? Let's fast forward. Now we're here. So who you gonna blame? Us or yourself?
I can't. I blame myself.
So then
for
let's
it.
stop right there then.
That's on
So
me.
then guess what?
But at the same time, blame didn't take time to explain none of this to me.
We're gonna stop it right there. We've been given the counsel. We've been given the counsel. We've been telling y'all what to do. Where we at?
We at Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16. But to do good and to communicate.
We got to do what?
To do good and to communicate.
Go ahead.
Forget not.
Yeah, see, when you forget to communicate, that's where the frustration comes in, because now you're not getting the help to your problems. And then you want to blast your information out to the world. Hebrews what?
13, verse 16.
Hebrews 13 to 16. Let's go to we'll finish up the Proverbs later. Let's go into your class, man.
Nice.
Let's go into this bro's class.
All right, we're gonna start at Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 17. And the class that we're going on, the class that we're gonna go over, when we read Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 17, right? It says, oh, the water, bro. Go. All right, go ahead.
Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
I'm sorry, Isaiah chapter 54 and 17.
17, sorry.
Yes, sir.
No weapon that is formed against me, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper.
So it says, no weapon that is formed against us shall prosper, right? So when you look in the world today, let's look at all the weapons that are against us. Can y'all name a few? Let's see, who can name some weapons that are against us today?
Chemtrails.
Chemtrails. That's one.
I'm sorry, repeat it again, sir.
It says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. So what weapons in this world right now you can say is formed against us? I'm sorry? I'm sorry. You got vaccinations, right? What else? Anybody else? What is it? Trust. Trust. And that's because of society. That's because of what society is embedded into our people. So there's no trust. There's no love anymore. When you look in the world, people don't love each other, man. That's all show love. That's fake.
I would say like certain spirits. The spirit of being faithless, the spirit of, evil spirits maybe that might get caught up in your mind.
Yeah.
That try to get control over you.
So evil spirits. Let's see a couple. I got a couple written down. A couple weapons that's formed against us, right? Our own family can be a weapon against us. Our own family members. But let's see, we got Planned Parenthood killing our people, right? Got education, the educational system that don't teach us who we are, that teach lies, that teach BS, that's teaching kids right now at a young age, middle school kids in health class, how it's cool to masturbate. So you have a lot of weapons that's against us. You have the media, you have the music, you have the movies, you have a lot. You have drugs, gangs. Lots of weapons are against us, right? So read the scripture from the top one more time.
No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper.
So when you look at a lot of people, you can see that a lot of the weapons that's formed, it prospers. But us waking up and us having the scriptures, right? A lot of those weapons don't prosper against us. They prosper if we let them. They prosper if we let them. Keep reading.
And every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn.
So every tongue that rises against us. So when you think about Psalm 78, it says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people to cut them off, which they did. So even today, these elites, when they take their crafty counsel, when they make their food, all the food is GMO. One person didn't just go ahead and do that and make all the food GMO, seedless, towards destroying your body, causing cancer, diabetes, all that. They took counsel They take counsel when they formed the gangs. They took counsel when they made crack. The music industry, they took counsel to make sure, okay, everything that's dropped, every song that comes out is about sex, money, drugs, filth. They take counsel. Some people fall to that, some don't. Us having the Most High, we're not supposed to fall to that. But you can see how people out in the world, how they fall to it. Keep reading.
This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord.
It says, that's the heritage of the servants. How do you not fall to all the weapons and the counsel? You got to be a what?
Servant.
You got to be a servant.
And before you get to that point, I want to point something out. Like you were just giving all these different weapons, right, that they use. Perfect example of what we just had to hear. The greatest weapon that they used was to say, we're going to get the black man up out the house. And we're going to put him against the woman. That's the greatest weapon. Y'all hear it. Y'all see it. Think about it. The greatest weapon was telling a woman that she can assume the role of a man. And tell him what the hell he got to be doing. Y'all got to...
The greatest thing they did.
The greatest weapon of all was to say, you know what? We're going to turn a woman against a man and a man against a woman. We're going to make a woman think that she can be a man. Because it affects a lot of things. It affects household. It affects the order of things. It affects the understanding. One of the greatest weapons was them stripping our identity. So now you don't even know what the hell you're supposed to be doing. And when it's time for you to do it, it's like, well, I'm so used to doing things this way, over here, the way I've been doing it. When somebody's telling me, nah, sis, this is the way it's supposed to be done. It's like, nah, I can't rock with that. It ain't fair. It ain't right. But that's the way it's supposed to be done. You see that? Go ahead. I just wanted to make that point.
You know, I was going to say as well, one of the greatest things that they did was strip the wisdom. This is the greatest thing that they did. They stripped the wisdom from the man. And what's wisdom? The proper application of knowledge. What's the knowledge? It's not knowledge about working or doing some type of worldly mentality.
Building somebody else's kingdom. That's not what it's about. We're supposed to be building our own kingdom. We're supposed to be the weapon, right? We're supposed to be building ourselves, our households, our families. But how do you do it if you're too busy building somebody else's? You can't.
You can't even build yourself spiritually.
Yeah, you can't. Think about it. When you build a house, do they just plop a house down? Them old school brick houses, they'd have to build them brick by brick. It's just like you. You got to build yourself brick by brick. But if you're not giving yourself to the things that's going to build you, and you over there building something else, what are you going to be? What type of shelter you going to be? Think about it. The scriptures say a man is over a woman, right? The order in Corinthians 7. But how can that man be over a woman if he don't got the wisdom to know that that's where he's supposed to be? If he doesn't have the wisdom to give her, to show her that, look, the scriptures say God, Christ, man, woman, child, not God, then woman, then Christ, then children, then man, right? That's how some households run. It's like, God, I believe in Jesus. I believe God first, and then she's right under God. Nah, bruh. But if that man ain't got that wisdom to say, nah, wait a minute, hold on, wait. What's the order? Oh, let's go here real quick. God, Christ, oh, me? Yeah, I'm right under Christ. Then you, babe, then the kids. What's that household going to be? It's going to be chaotic. Yeah. Everything is going to be out of order, right? Just to make that point, go ahead and jump back.
Yeah. So one of the biggest weapons they did was take the wisdom away from the man, which is the knowledge of the Most High. That's applying the knowledge of the Most High, the correct application of knowledge. The knowledge is the Most High's knowledge. So the biggest thing they did was to strip the man of that, of his wisdom. So now he doesn't know how to run anything. He's emotional. He's a drug addict. He's just beat down. He can't control anything. The woman can't. The woman has no trust in him. So if you take the man away, then guess what? The family falls. So that's one of the biggest weapons that they did. And you can just look in the world today. Look at society. You got a man and a woman that's working. But look at the household. Look at the kids. They both working, but they both don't have money. They're both on drugs. They're both alcoholics. They both they can't function. They can't teach their kids. Their kids sit in front of a tablet all day. They sit in front of their video games. They sit in front of a computer.
They're left to themselves.
They sit in front of the TV. And they're trained from that. They don't learn anything. But that's where the man was supposed to come in and teach them. Look at them, man. Look at all of them in the world. If it was working, the world wouldn't be like this. The world wouldn't be like this if it was working. We wouldn't have the highest jail population, the highest drug users. We wouldn't be the ones in the strip clubs prostituting if it was working. The majority of pastors, man, you see them and their daughters, their own kids are off. How come it's not working? They're not applying the wisdom of the Most High. They're not the servants. It says this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, is that no weapon prospers against you. No crafty counsel. None of that prospers against you if you're a servant. But what makes you a servant? Just because you know the Bible, that doesn't make you a servant. Just because you know who you are, that doesn't make you a servant. Go to Matthew chapter 24 and 45. We're going to see what makes you a servant.
Con. You said 24, 35, Con.
Verse 45, sir.
45?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household?
So who is it? The Lord, our Master Christ. He made him rule over the household. What household? His household and the household of the school, of our school, the body, the camp. His household, the household of faith. Keep reading.
To give them meat in due season.
To give them meat, to teach them, to feed the sheep. That's what makes you a servant. That's what makes you fall under the no weapon formed against you shall prosper. When you're that servant that gives the sheep meat in due season, whenever they need it. Like you said, you're available 24 hours a day.
Yep.
As soon as they call you, they hungry, they call, you're there. You give that meat in due season when they need it. Keep reading, verse 46.
Where we at?
Matthew 24 and verse 46.
Blessed is that servant.
So the whole point of this class is to show what? To show that.
The whole point is to show, okay, you know you're an Israelite. You know you're an Israelite. Does that mean you're untouchable? Does that mean you're invincible?
No, because there's certain things you got to be doing.
Exactly.
As that man with the knowledge.
You got to actually apply it.
Right.
You got to actually do it.
Right. You can't just sit back and be like, well, I know the scriptures say, but not do, right?
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Go. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing.
So when Christ come back, that servant will be blessed. When Christ comes back to visit him, he's going to be blessed. Because the Most High is like, look, you're doing it. You're walking in faith. You're feeding the sheep. You're feeding the people. You're not selfish. You're not worried about yourself and your household. You're worried about everybody else's household. And in turn, guess what? I will take care of your household. The Most High says he knows we have need of clothes, food, shelter. He knows we have need of that, but don't worry about that. Focus on the Most High. Focus on the kingdom.
Matthew 6 and 33, right?
Correct. Seek ye the kingdom. All that's going to come on to you. Don't let that be a distraction to you. But yeah, we're going to go into it. Go to Psalms chapter 23.
Go.
Psalms chapter 23.
Off at the top.
Yes, sir, from the top.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
So the Lord is our shepherd, right? That we shall not want.
Imagine if the Most High was a half-assed shepherd. where he was like, well, I'm going to be y'all shepherd, but I'm going to go over here and work. We'll go over here and work on this over here. I'm going to half-ass take care of y'all. Come on, man. The Most High is on his job. We got to be on ours.
Got to be on ours. The Most High is our shepherd. We're the sheep. He's who we follow. He's our protector. Check this definition out of shepherd. Because when we hear the definition of shepherd, a lot of times we just think of a master of sheep, right? But this definition of shepherd says a person who protects, guides, or watches over a person or a group of people. So the Most High is our shepherd. So when it says no weapon formed against you shall prosper, that's because the Most High is our shepherd. He's our shepherd. But if somebody's, let's say you piss somebody off, you're about to get into a fight. Is the Most High about to come down and protect you? No, he's not. So how does he protect you? He protects you through the wisdom. Now you're getting into a contention with this person. You can either choose to go and you can choose to blow on the fire, like the scripture says in Ecclesiastes, or you can spit on it. Meaning you can push the contention, you can match that contentious spirit, or you can calm the situation down. Simple as that. The Most High, he's not going to come down and fight for us. He is our shepherd. He is our protector. He is our guide. But he's not going to be the one that comes down and defends us. He gave us the defense right here. The defense is his word. We're supposed to go through the word and apply it. That's how it actually works for you. You can't say, oh, I'm an Israelite. I know the scripture. I'm following the laws. I'm keeping the Most High's commandments. But you're not applying anything that you've learned and expect a police officer pulls you over. You can just talk to him any kind of way and expect, oh, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Nah, you got to actually use the wisdom. You want to say something?
Gun. In that situation, for example, you'll go to the scripture where it says, quickly.
Yeah, we're going to go there later. But you see it. Okay. Keep reading. Oh, it also says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, right? So you ain't going to have need of anything. You don't need anything. The Most High is your guide. He's your protector. You don't need a gun. You don't have to walk around with a machete, with a cutlass.
Yeah, but you ain't going to be walking around frustrated, worried about the things that you don't have that you need in the future. Why? Because, again, if you're on your job, the Most High stays on his job.
Exactly.
He's going to make sure you're good. The ones that are doing their job, doing what they're supposed to be doing. See, the only people that got to worry, if I walk out in the streets and I'm nervous of getting shot, why? Why would I have to be nervous of getting shot?
Because you know that you ain't right in the Most High's eyes.
There's something that I was doing or am doing, or there's some type of lifestyle I'm living to where somebody got to run up on me. I don't never worry about that. I'm worried about watching my back no matter where I'm at. I don't give a damn.
Yep.
I don't have to watch my back because I know what I'm doing is the will of the Most High. I'm going to watch my back when I'm out doing flyers, and I'm not saying it pridefully, I don't got to, because we go to some places where it's like, okay, let's be on alert. The scriptures do say walk circumspect, right? But I don't got to sit there and be like, oh my God, I'm trembling in my boots because I'm going to this neighborhood or I'm going to this barrio. Nah. Hell nah. I didn't think about that when I wasn't in the truth and I was younger, living in New York. I didn't worry about what hood I was in and where I was at. I just rolled around.
Yep.
But now I know that I'm doing what the Most High wants, I definitely don't worry about that. But the ones that have to worry about that and worry about where the next meal's gonna come from and where my baby diaper's gonna be at and where I'm gonna live at, you know why you gotta worry about that? Because you ain't got no faith and you ain't doing what's right in the eyes of the Most High. That's the bottom line.
Right.
I don't care how you try to cut it up, dice it. That's the bottom line. When you ain't doing what the Most High wants, you gotta worry about those things. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. You seek the Most High and his righteousness, then guess what? Wherewithal shall we eat, drink, be clothed, lay our heads. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all those things will be added unto you. But see, we got it backwards. Let me seek all those things first, and then I'm going to put on the kingdom later. When I get rich, girl, and I get all my baby formula and all that crap, then guess what? I'll seek the Most High after. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. The Most High wants you to do, the Most High is like, what have you done for me? Not even lately. What did you do for me in the last 5 minutes? What did you do for me? What was your thought in the last second? That's how the Most High work. It ain't like, what have you done for me lately a week ago? Well, you know, like 2 weeks ago, I did some flyers and I ironed my husband's shirt. What the hell? Nigga, what are you thinking about right now?
It's on the mental.
What's on your mental right now to where I don't just take you out? Y'all see that?
Most High is a jealous God.
Because what? Because this is the thing that we don't get. When you start thinking about all these negative things and all this lack of faith, you start calling these demons to you. You start thinking about death, death gonna be right at your front door. You start thinking about what lust gonna be right there. That's why I say, what are you thinking in that moment? Most High is looking at that. You gotta bless according to the way you think. And then you act. So we gotta keep that in mind, man.
I like what you just said. Read verse 2. It's gonna go right with it.
He maketh me lie down in green pastures.
He's gonna make you comfortable. When you seek the Most High, He's gonna make you lie down in green pastures. You have no worry. You won't have a worry. Those wolves, remember, we're sent as sheep amongst wolves. So we have all kinds of spirits that's always trying to come at us to get us off the path, to get us to think on something that's not even worth thinking about.
It's not even real.
It's not even
it's not even real. That's the thing. You sit there thinking about things that don't even matter. They don't even pertain to you. They ain't even about you. You worried about what sister looked at you funny, what brother looked at you funny. Just things that don't matter. And don't pertain to salvation. They don't pertain, what do we always pray for? Build us in things that pertain to life and salvation. That's one of the things Tahawam always says. You so worried about things that got to do with death and damnation.
Worried about the carnal. You
worry about the carnal. Things that just could be here 1 minute and fade away. That's why I don't, like, bro, like, do I care about things? True, technically, no. I really don't. I'm just like, have a phone 1 minute, have the wackest phone 1 minute, and have the best phone the next.
That's the freedom. That's you being free.
Yeah. Have the best. Go ahead.
That's why it says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Because you don't worry about what they worried about. We're not supposed to be worried about that in here.
You don't worry about it because the truth is more important. Because you know why? That's why it says you shall know the truth. A lot of us don't know the truth. That's why we're not free. Like I said, I can go from the wackest phone to the best phone. No cars. There was one time, bro, I had your car, Ariel's car, a car in the garage, my Rim's car. There was like 4 cars at my house. I'm like, damn. I went from 0 cars in one day to 4 cars at my crib. All the keys to my disposal. You see the point where it's like, seek ye first the king. Because why? Was my whole motive on, let me go see what these butt-naked hoes is talking about. Let me drive down Bissonnette to see what these little scallywags is on. Let me bend the block to go check this chick and go hang out over here and hit this bar and hit this club. And nah, my whole thing was, how am I gonna get to the mall, get my kid to school, and then get to class? Those are my 3 places. The mall, class, home, and picking the kids up from school. That's all I worry about. All pertaining to the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what it's about. But as soon as I start thinking about what titty bar I'm gonna go hit in the strip club and bend over to this mall to go kick it and guess what happens? The car start breaking down. Nobody wants to give a ride because the Most High is checking that. Showing like, nah, you don't need to be over there. You don't need to be over there. Start getting pulled over. Oh, you shouldn't have been out that day. Should have been doing your job. Right? No weapon formed against me shall prosper if I'm doing my job.
You know, something happened to me like 2 days ago, right? I went to drop that package off to deliver to Kazakh, right?
Yeah.
When I went there, I left my phone there. So I walked out without my phone. And
the brand new phone.
Yeah, and I didn't even know. But this lady came and she's like, hey, your phone. I'm like, oh, snap, thank you so much. Got my phone. If I'm not with the Most High, that easily could have been your phone. So it's a lot of times we don't even think. It's like small things. It's small things that we don't even think about.
Because you were doing something pertaining to the school. Right? So the Most High put it on that lady's spirit, like, oh yeah, it was just a lesson, just pay more attention to your stuff.
But imagine if my mindset wasn't right.
Right.
Most I would have been like, look, I'm gonna take your phone. That's $800 down the drain. I didn't pay them. It's a little note paid every month or whatever, but that's still like money that's gone, that's wasted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He can do that. You gotta think, man, a lot of us go to work. We're driving. We miss, most I could make an accident happen at any time. At any time. You can get a flat tire, your engine will go out. Anything can happen at any time. So that's why I was like, you gotta keep your mind right on the Most High. Worry about Him. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't worry about, my car should have been, last year, they told me, you gotta fix your timing belt. Your car can go out at any second. A year later, it's still good. It makes a lot of noise when I drive it, but that sucker's still good.
I'm still riding.
When I went to Trinidad, those tires was going out all the times before I went to Trinidad. I went to Trinidad, left it with him, the tire didn't go out once.
All I was doing was coming to the school. School and mall.
So it's like, it's things that we take for granted that we don't look at how the Most High has us, man. We always forget that. We can go to sleep and not wake up. At any minute, somebody can run into your house. It's Houston. Houston is like one of the top cities for burglars, for home burglaries, car thefts. At any time, any of that can happen to us. But if you're focused on the Most High, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. It's not gonna prosper. Even if they're like, oh, I'm gonna get him, the wicked come up like, okay, I'm gonna actually get this car. It might be dark, and they get the next car, next year's. The Most High makes some way. But go back to verse 2.
Okay. He maketh me lie down in green pastures.
The Most High is gonna make you comfortable. It might not seem like it, because all these spirits be coming. Bills, rent, whatever. Your car about to break down, you about to lose your job. What am I gonna do? You'll be all right. The Most High got you. You're gonna lay down in green pastures. Don't pay attention to it. Focus on Him. Focus on your spirit. If you're a man, focus on your spirit so that you can get up to a level where you can lead other men. If you're a woman, focus on your spirit so that you can get up to a level to where you can lead these young sisters. Y'all see what's going on out there. They need us. Read it, keep reading.
He leadeth me beside the still waters.
He's going to take care of you. He's the one that's going to lead you to your blessing. The water represents your blessing. It represents wisdom. He's the one that's going to lead you to all your blessings. He's the one that's going to take care of your bills, your car note, your rent, your food, your kids, all that. Then He's going to bless you with the wisdom so that you can know how to do it while serving Him. So that way you're not like the people outside, man. You're not like the worldly people that's worried about getting a new iPhone every year, getting a new car every year. You got money. It's funny, I always tell my real. These people, they go to college and they get dough. But it's almost like they still live paycheck to paycheck. Because they got to get the newest car every year. They got to get the newest phone every year. They got to get all the Jordans. They got to get all the expensive clothes. So it's like, yeah, you're making more money, but then you're just throwing it out. You're just throwing it out. You have no wisdom to keep it. Look at all our people, man. Especially if you're a Hebrew, look at all our people that went to school or played ball. Let's start with playing ball. The majority of them, when they retire, they're broke. They go broke. Why? Because they don't have the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High to care for their money. Look at all our people that go to college. They go broke too. They waste it all on drugs. Or they paying the loans back. The American dream. The The American dream. It's crazy.
God.
It's crazy. Verse 3. Read verse 3.
He restoreth my soul.
Think about before you found the truth. How dead in spirit you were. Think about the person you were before you learned and you started applying certain things. You know yourself better than anyone. You know things that you've done, ways you've thought, that nobody else knows, except for you and the Most High. That's why he says he restores your soul. You learned, you came back to him, you got acquainted with the Most High. He restored you. You were dead. You were dead spiritually, and probably about to be dead physically as well. You were dead, but he restored your soul. Keep reading.
He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
He's going to lead you. He guides you through every step. Through every step. Every step of the way. Keep reading.
And we got to stress that point. Read that one more time.
He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
Wait, because I need to do my own thing?
His name's sake.
Wait, because it's all about me.
His name's sake.
And see, you're going to go through the paths of righteousness when you're doing things through the will of the Most High in his name. Y'all see that? So we got to stress these little points where it's for his name's sake. For the Most High's glory to be shown, not for my glory.
Thy will be done.
Yeah, because I'm garbage. It ain't about me. It wasn't about for Christ, but Christ did what he did. He didn't say, I'm doing this for me. He said, nah, I'm doing the will of my Father that sent me. So we always gotta stress those points.
Yeah, I like that. Because a lot of times, man, in the world, we do everything for our own glory. It's always, especially before you found the truth, it was all about us. It was all about us being seen. Come on, man. Think about it. We wanted to be seen in the flyest whip, the best clothes, looking the best. We wanted to be seen with the best man. Think about all the kids. Think about when you was in high school. You had the popularest girl being with the popularest boy. You had stuff like that going on. Why? They trying to be seen. They trying to be puffed up. They're doing everything for themselves. Everything. Before you found the truth, everything was done for yourself. Now you're in the truth. Everything you do is for the Most High, which in turn makes it so that everything you do is for all the brothers and sisters that surround you. You got their back. They got your back. The Most High has all of y'all's back. He got y'all. We don't do nothing for ourselves no more. Who cares about vainglory? You see these people, man, they go to the mall, and we gotta like hype them up. They go in there and they buy like that. They stand in line and they get like a $300 pair of Jordans, and they walk around in some $300 pair of Jordans, and their heads all lift up. It's like, bro, it's $300. It costs $15 to make. You just killed your money. See, to the people above, the elites, they look at you like, yeah, you're retarded. But you walking around feeling like you're glory. You make your people make their clothes their glory. They make their car their glory, their phone. There's people that won't touch another phone. How many of y'all right now would use a flip phone? Y'all are the truth though.
She loves the flips.
Oh yeah, I love the flip too. I got her on the flip. But yeah, shalom, man. But yeah, a lot of people. I remember one time, man, when I was working at Rice, and I had my flip phone, and I ain't gonna get into that. Pretty much, they saw my flip phone sticking out my pocket, and they looked at me, and they were like,
"What's wrong with this guy?"
Yeah. I pulled my flip phone out, and they was like, "Damn, what's going on?" But that's that vainglory, though. That's that vainglory. Now it's like I got a better phone. It's like whatever, man. Yeah, keep reading.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
So yeah, we walking through this valley of the shadow of death, man. Look at these people. Destroyed completely. Look at when you talk to them, look at what they talk about. Look at, if you bring up the scriptures, that's it for the combo. You're like way above them. So you have to bring yourself to their level and be like, oh yeah, Jordan did that. LeBron did that last night. Curry's cold. Steph Curry's good.
Harden. You guys saw
Harden. Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And then Game of Thrones. It's like.
Oh.
She tried to get on. She tried to get on Game of Thrones trail.
Well, yeah, it's like when you talk to them, it's like there's nothing to talk about. It's nothing. That's because they're in darkness. That's why when Christ came, it said that the city of I think Nineveh saw a great light. It wasn't that Christ was just shining or a light just came through. Nah, Christ came and he spoke. He showed them wisdom. He showed them wisdom.
And they were so dull.
Yeah, they were so dull. It's like, damn, what the hell? And he probably showed them something basic too, because you gotta show milk.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, it says, "Yet I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." We don't fear no evil. We don't. If we live in the hood, we don't have to leave the house wondering if we're gonna get robbed. We following the Most High. That's our shepherd. That's our protector. That's our guide. We don't have to worry about being robbed. We don't have to worry about being jacked. We don't have to worry about dying over BS, like gang members. I'd be damned if I die over a $5 crack rock. A $5 crack rock. Keep reading, brother.
For thou art with me.
Yeah, the Most High is with us. Keep reading.
Thy rod, thy staff, they comfort me.
Thy rod and thy staff, that represent rulership. The rod and the staff, that represents rulership, dominion, authority. So Christ's rulership, his authority, that's what comforts us. Because we know if he wants something to happen to us, it's going to happen. If he doesn't want it to happen to us, it's not going to happen. Every situation that we're in right now, we cause it on ourselves. Christ allowed it to happen. You brought it on yourself. Before and even now in the truth. Keep reading.
Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies.
Look at the feast days. They trying to shut down all the Hebrew channels of us street speaking. Of all of our brothers and sisters teaching, man, on YouTube. They're trying to shut down the channels. They're trying to shut us down. We go out and we street speak, they shut us down. We try to pass out flyers in certain spots, they're like, no, you can't come here. They let us leave. But still, the Most High prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies. He feeds us. He blesses us right in their face. They set up all these Planned Parenthoods to shut us, to stop us from having kids. We still having kids. They pushing this gay agenda. The majority of our men now are turning gay. The majority of the women are turning dykes, lesbians.
But the righteous are still pushing through.
The righteous is still pushing through. We're growing. There's more and more brothers waking up and following the Most High. And they can't stop it. Keep reading, brother.
Thou anointest my head with oil.
Yeah, he make us a shine. We got that oil on our head, we shine. And you know, come on, man. When y'all was at work, when y'all talk to all these other people, y'all shine before them. They're like, who are you? It's something about you.
If they're talking wisdom, right?
Yeah. But sometimes
that look,
the look, how you carry yourself, the attitude, they're like, yeah, you shine. You're anointed with oil. Keep reading.
My cup runneth over.
You're full of blessings. You're blessed tremendously. And a lot of times, man, we do not see our blessings. We do not see how we're blessed. We don't consider our blessings, man. We don't consider that we have hot water. We don't consider that we have hot water. We wake up, we go, we turn that shower on, it's hot. It's hot. Go to a third world country, it's not. But it's nothing to them. They're like, yeah, I'm good. Whatever, I got water to shower. It doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. But a lot of times we don't look at the small things. We have toothpaste. A lot of people can't even brush their teeth using the same toothbrush for a long time, man. A real long time. But what? They can't buy a new one because what? They got to spend it on food. Our cup runneth over. We're extremely blessed. And a lot of times, man, we do not consider it. We consider the negative. We look at the afflictions, we look at the negative, the negativity, and we don't consider, man. We don't consider the man that we're with. We don't consider the blessing. Do y'all, sisters, do y'all ever like be out in the world and y'all see these men and you're like, wow. Wow.
Well, I ain't with him.
I could have been with this.
Mm-hmm. Or I was with this.
It don't matter. Like, let's go with the man that looks well dressed, business attire. You might see him like, oh yeah, he looks nice, but you don't know how he is behind closed doors. He might be gay. He might be gay and you don't know it. Look how many women now are coming out like their husbands are telling them, I'm gay. I'm gonna be a tranny now.
And he was the cat with the dough, the nice suit. He provided everything for you.
You know, it makes me think about that one sis, man, that we deal with at the oil cart. Her dad's a lawyer. He makes dough. She gets chauffeured around.
Oh, little girl?
She's 14, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But she has no connection with the father. Yeah. She has no connection with him. So it's like, what's the point? What's the point of having what's the point of even having a father at that point? He can't give you wisdom. He can't give you nothing. He's not there. He just gives you money.
That's their connection.
That's the only connection is that credit card.
That's it.
I mean,
it's terrible.
That's that carnal though.
Yeah.
That's that carnal. A lot of times, man, we look at things just carnally, man. We look at a lot of things carnally, and we don't think about the spiritual blessings. And I'm speaking of myself too. A lot of times, man, we're so quick to look at our carnal blessings or the carnal things that we don't have, and we do not look at the things, those spiritual blessings that we do. The spiritual blessings that keep coming, keep growing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, man, we stop those blessings as well. Read verse 6.
Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life.
Keep reading.
And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
And that's what it's about. When we dwell in the house of the Lord, we're dwelling in the house of the Lord right now. This is the house of the Lord. We're in unity. Your brother, we're gathered together, O nation divided. You got a sister. You got a brother. You got help. You're not by yourself. We're rehearsing the righteous acts. So when we make it to the kingdom, what you think it's going to be like? The same.
Right.
But better. Except now you don't have to work. You or the man. So we're rehearsing the righteous act. We're going to dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We're going to be protected. We're going to be protected. From there, brother, go to Psalms 138 and 7. Psalms 138 and 7. And again, we're bringing this out. I'm bringing this class out because a lot of times, man, we get so, because we know the Most High protects us and He has His hedge around us, and we know that no weapon that is formed is going to protect us. I mean, no weapon that is formed against us is going to prosper. We don't realize that it doesn't prosper if we use the wisdom that the Most High has given us. That's the only way it doesn't prosper. That's the only way, because the Most High, it says, surely the Most High will do nothing. He's not going to come down and fight a gang member for you. He's not going to come down and fight your neighbor that you're arguing with. That's not going to happen. The Most High is the one that does it. But yeah, read that. Psalms chapter 138, verse 7.
Though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt revive me.
Again, think about before you found the truth. And you was walking in the midst of trouble. Think of all those situations you got yourself in where you could have been in jail, you could have got killed, you could have caught something. Something tragic could have happened. You're driving. A lot of times, man, when we're teenagers and we first start driving, we go driving with our friends, they're going fast, we could have crashed. Anything could have happened. But it says what? It says the Most High did what to us?
Thou wilt revive me.
The Most High revived us. He brought us back to life. A lot of times, man, we're in certain situations where we're like, no, I'm not going to do that. We just listen to that voice. We're like, no, I'm not doing that tonight. I'm not going with you tonight. I'm just not doing it. You never know what could have happened, but the Most High took you out that situation. Keep reading.
Thou shalt stretch forth thine hand against the wrath of mine enemies.
It says who's going to do it? Read from the top.
Thou shalt stretch forth thine hand against the wrath of mine enemies.
The Most High is the one that stretches forth his hand against our enemies. Not us. Not us. We're not. We're supposed to live peaceably with all men. We're supposed to be harmless as doves. Wise as serpents, harmless as doves. If we're put in a situation where it gets contentious, we're supposed to leave that alone. Follow the wisdom. Get out of it.
I thought we were supposed to go get guns and fight.
Follow the wisdom. Get out of it. Leave it to the Most High. Let the Most High handle it.
That's what the Bible says, right?
That's exactly what the Bible says.
Oh, okay.
It says, read it one more time.
Thou shalt stretch forth thine hand against the wrath of mine enemies.
We're not gonna fight our enemies. Think about the police killing our brothers and sisters out here. That's not gonna be us. We're not finna throw down with the cops. We're not getting guns to go fight the cops. We're not gonna fight them physically. Don't care how much MMA you know. Boxing, jiu-jitsu, whatever. The Most High says he uses his hand. His hand. He's the one that takes care of it. Keep reading.
And thy right hand shall save me.
He saves you. Simply put, the Most High is the one that's going to save you. You do not save yourself. When these things start happening, when World War III happens, North Korea, concentration camp, bombs, famines, the Most High saves us. He's the one that's going to have his hand in it, not us. Was that Romans 12:9? Romans chapter 12, verse 19.
It goes right with what you're saying. Yeah, it goes right with what you're saying.
Yeah, Romans chapter 12 and verse 19.
Come. Romans chapter 12, verse 19.
Get it, bro.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves.
Do what?
Avenge not yourselves.
One more time.
Avenge not yourselves.
So somebody does you wrong. If you're in the club, somebody steps on your shoe, what does it say?
Avenge not yourselves.
You do not go and step on his shoe back or try to start a fight because this dude stepped on your $15 pair of Jordans that you spent $300 for. You're at the basketball court, you get elbowed, you don't go elbow the brother back. Simply put, it says, avenge not yourselves. Leave that in the hand of the Most High. We live peaceably. We're an example. We're the example. They don't.
Can I just say one thing on that?
What's up?
If you're on the basketball court and fighting, that means the Most High is telling you that you shouldn't be at the basketball court. You should be studying somewhere.
Go ahead.
You should be at home studying. Not on the basketball court. If you got to get into a fight when you playing a child's game.
You're supposed to be playing kind.
When you playing a children's game, throwing a round ball into a round hole like Thawum always says, and you get into a fight, the Most High is probably telling you, I'm not going to be with that. I'm not being with you. I'm not going to protect you. I'm going to get your ass whooped, so you should just go home and study. That's what you should be. Just saying.
Finish that, brother.
But rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine.
Go ahead.
I will repay, saith the Lord.
So the Lord will repay. The Most High is going to repay. He's going to avenge us. All we have to do, stay focused on the goal. Seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High. Because we don't need that negative energy, man. We don't need those negative thoughts. We don't need to bear no hatred against nobody. We don't need that. We got to keep our thoughts pure at all times. We got to keep our thoughts pure so that when stuff like that happens, we can handle it properly and grow from it and move on to something else and show the next man or the next woman how she can handle it and move on.
Right.
Like I said, we're the example. They don't have an example out there. But the Most High, he's the one that avenges us, not ourselves. Go to Matthew chapter 10, verse 16, and can another brother give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and verse 13? Again, it's Matthew chapter 10, verse 16, and can another brother give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and verse 13?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 9.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16.
Read that.
Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. But ye therefore wise. But be.
Go ahead.
Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
So we're the sheep that's sent among the wolves. We got to know every time we leave the body, every time we're not around a brother or a sister, we're amongst wolves. Simply put, every time we're not around a brother or a sister, we're amongst wolves. So we must be what? What do we have to be?
Wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
Wise as serpents, but also harmless as doves. We can't use our tongues to cause contention. Somebody tries to come at us, spit on the fire. Spit right on the fire. Calm the situation down. Forget your pride. Forget, oh, I'm gonna look like a punk. Yeah, I'm gonna look soft. Forget your pride.
It says suffer wrongfully.
Suffer wrongfully. Because guess what? Remember this, man. Just keep this in the back of your mind. Two things. One, the Most High controls everything. So the Most High allowed that person to be contentious with you. So it's either the Most High is testing you, or two, if the Most High is not testing you, two, what are you doing? Where's my mind at for that to happen to me? For me to be put in that situation? Let me get a show of hands. How many of us, since coming to class, and we know that we're in the right mind state, has something bad happen to them? To where like you're gonna get into a fight with somebody. To where you've been so pissed that you wanna fight somebody. Can I get a show of hands?
I slipped up today.
Wasn't the right mind state.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I wasn't. I slipped. I knew.
So one out of everybody.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
So two.
But I know how to control it though. It's like people push me to the point where I kind of like want to cuss them out or want to like punch them in the face. But it's like, you know, that's not the right thing. So I kind of like I calm myself down. Like this is just the spirit trying to attack me. And it's actually happened that one day when everybody was fasting for the Sabbath.
Yeah.
And it was like the first thing in the morning, the first customer that came, she was getting at me, and I had to walk away, and I had to be like, not today, Satan. Like, I knew because I was fasting, it was like the very first customer, she was attacking me, she was getting at me, I was like, I didn't even do nothing, we just barely open, like, what is she coming from? So.
Well, you know what that is? That's the Most High testing you. That's your patience getting worked on. And that's you getting an opportunity to exercise the scriptures. So guess what? You exercise the scriptures correctly, you get wisdom. Now you share that with everybody. So guess what? You share that with everybody in the class and online. So now they're like, okay, let me do the same. Let me do what you did. Now you're an example. Now the Most High is the one that put you in that predicament. So guess what? You passed. So guess what you got coming? A blessing. You got a blessing coming. But a lot of times, like I was saying earlier, when those blessings come, we don't even think. Because we're trying to look at a carnal blessing. Like me, I want some foes on my card. If I don't get... See, I'm just pointing something out. Like, okay, I want this blessing. I want a child. I want this. I want a good life. The Most High might send that blessing another time. But he sends you something that you don't even know you need. And then you don't even realize it when it comes. And then later down the line, you're like, oh man, damn. That might have been preparation for something bigger. You never know. But you exercise it correctly. Now, that person ain't a weapon. Imagine if you didn't exercise it correctly. They could have went to your manager. Look at how she's treating me. I'm the first customer of the day. Look at how she's treating me. Fire her.
I was actually the manager of Vivi, so.
But there's always somebody above, right?
She could have gone to the corporate and it would be, yeah.
And now that's on your resume.
Right.
And then you try to get another job and then, so you never know. Right. But you exercise the scripture correctly, so what? No weapon formed against you is going to prosper. As long as you exercise it. But what was the next one again?
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 13.
All right. Go ahead.
Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
So we're sheep walking amongst wolves. We have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High. We're not about to be in a trap house. We're not about to be around these people. We're not going to be at a strip club. We're not going to be at the club at 3 o'clock in the morning unless I'm chilling with brothers and sisters. I'm not about to go in that environment with worldly people, with wolves, because they have the power to kill. A lot of times we might think, oh yeah, they might kill me carnally. They might kill you spiritually, and that's worse than the carnal death. Yeah, keep reading though.
So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death.
And a lot of times, man, when we're in those situations, you might be in a trap house. Shootout happens, you survive. You're like, oh yeah, I'm good. The rappers do it all the time. They talk about how they doubt the fear of death. They don't fear it anymore because they're put in situations where gunfight, gang fight, whatever, they make it out. They feel like they can't be touched. That's not the case. Keep reading.
And if thou come unto him, make no fault.
And if we can use this for a police officer, right? We're with a police officer. He has the power to kill. Most of them are the devils. So if they have this evil spirit on them and they see us, and they see our righteous spirit, they want to get us. He has the power to kill. But what does it say? Read again.
And if thou come unto him, make no fault.
Don't give the devil no occasion against you. Don't give him a reason. Make no fault. Use the scriptures wisely. Use your scriptures. Apply them. Get out of the situation. Go ahead, brother.
Lest he take away thy life presently.
Lest he kill you. Lest he kill you. Or you go hang around with somebody in the world. You go hang around with somebody in the world and he kills you spiritually. He spits something whack in your ear. Or she spits something whack in your ear. You start thinking about it. Or even in the truth. Say you're in the camp and a brother and a sister comes in here and they have whack spirits. Their spirit is off. And they start spitting something whack to you about another person. They're going to kill you spiritually. You might not even know it. You might not even know it. They spit something whack to you and you're like, man, that doesn't sound book. That doesn't sound like the Bible. And you handle the situation the incorrect way. You start sympathizing for that person. And you don't know the whole story. You don't know what's really going on. And that plants that little grain of evil seed in your spirit, and it grows, and it kills you, destroys you spiritually. It destroys all your growth. And you might still grow, but now you just grow like really slow. Or it just cuts you off completely. Keep reading, brother.
Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares.
What?
And that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
That's why the scripture says, walk ye circumspectly, redeeming the time because it's evil. This is where, in class, we're amongst each other, we know everything is good. The scriptures are coming out. Scriptures are being poured out. When we leave, you got to remember this, man. You got to remember. Read that part again, brother.
God. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
Yeah, it's a war zone. It's a war zone. For some places we live, it's a war zone for real, for real. But for the majority of us, it's a war zone spiritually. As soon as you wake up in the morning, the battle starts. Should I hit snooze or not? Should I get that extra 10 minutes in of sleep? And it's like, come on, man, it's 10 minutes. Think about how tired you are to where you want to hit the snooze button. What the hell is 10 minutes going to do for you? It's a war zone. As soon as you wake up, that battle starts.
Trained you well, my son.
But yeah, it's a war zone as soon as you wake up. As soon as you're about to make your husband's food. Am I going to put my spirit into it? Or am I not? Am I going to season the chicken? Or am I not? It's a war zone with everything that you do. As soon as it starts, the battle's on. Give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 2. And you're going to read to verse 3. And can the next brother give me Psalms chapter 37 and verse 32?
God.
2 Thessalonians.
Chapter 3 and verse 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 2 to verse 3.
2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
And that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men.
So when we exercise these scriptures, we're delivered. When we're right in the Most High's eyes, we're delivered from all of them. We're delivered from all these ungodly men, these wicked men. Man, you be talking to people and you be like, damn, he does this to you? How the hell did you get in this situation? How did that happen to you? How did this other person do that to you? I thought no weapon formed against me was supposed to prosper. How did this person prosper against me? You ain't right in the Most High's eyes. He's checking you. You're lucky he didn't take your life. Keep reading.
For all men have not faith.
Yeah, everyone doesn't have faith. Everyone doesn't have the faith of the Most High. Everyone doesn't believe in him. They know him, but if you truly believe, you're gonna exercise the scriptures. That's what's truly gonna make you a believer. Keep reading, brother.
But the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you.
You gonna establish yourself? Who's gonna establish you?
But the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you.
The Most High establishes you. You get that job, the Most High gave you that job. You get any form of blessing, the Most High gave you that blessing. Think about it. You take the glory away from the Most High, and you don't give thanks. You say, I got this on my own. Say you get a 2017 car. You're like, I did this. I worked those 2 jobs, and I got this car, and I finally paid it off. And the Most High makes you run into a tree. Now that car is total.
You did that.
You did that. You did it. But the Most High, he's the one that establishes you. And read the last part.
And keep you from evil.
So guess what? If you gave thanks for that car, you missed that tree. And if any brother is watching me from Trinidad right now, they can attest to one time, man, we were coming back. I forgot where we were coming back from. I think we were coming back from dropping Kazakh home. Kazakh at the airport. And we're coming back, and this dude gets into a car accident. Like, we're driving, and he goes the opposite way. And all we hear is, boom. We think he's dead. We go over there. He misses the curve. He misses 2 light poles. And he misses the bridge, like the little thing, the bridge guard.
Oh, the guardrail?
Yeah, he like barely grazes it. And it's like crazy how he did it. That's the Most High though. When we all looked at it, we're like, how the hell did you do this? You should be a NASCAR driver. But even him, he was drunk. His wife broke her toe. But it's like the Most High, he's the one that keep you from evil. Man, we driving every day. Anything can happen. But just showing you, even if a situation like that happens, are we going to give thanks to the Most High, Or are we going to take the credit? Like, I did it. Because that brother, he took the credit. He was like, yeah, I steered it. I was like, if you steered it, why did you end up in a, why did this happen in the first place if you were steering it? It shows that you weren't the one. Your steering wasn't right. Because look where you ended up. You broke your wife's toe. And he's lucky that was the only thing the Most High did. But yeah, read that Psalms 37, verse 32.
Psalms chapter 37 and verse 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous.
The wicked is watching us at all times. And you know it. These evil spirits, man, they watching. They waiting on us to slip. As soon as we slip, that's it. That's it. They coming. It says Satan is as a roaring lion. When you slip, that lion doesn't show you mercy. He's going straight for your throat. Straight for your throat. He's going to kill you.
Oh, they go after the sick.
Repeat it.
They go after the sick.
They go after the sick.
The lame.
The lame. They're going straight for them. So you got to keep yourself strong. You got to make sure you're not sick. You got to make sure you're reading. You're studying. You put that helmet on so you can protect yourself. Because the wicked is always watching. You drive, there's a police officer. They hide in the dark, trying to catch you speeding, trying to catch you going 10 miles over the speed limit. Somebody's getting there's prostitutes walking down Bissonnette. They don't stop. They don't stop that. They go to the next street and wait to catch somebody speeding. They trying to catch you sleep. Keep reading.
And seeketh to slay him.
And they seek to slay you, man. They seek to slay you. So you got to keep that in your memory at all times. Read Matthew's, somebody give me Matthew's 5 and 25, and then you're going to jump to verse 9.
Say Matthew 5 what?
And 25?
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 25. Agree with thy adversary quickly, while thou art in the way with him.
Think about it. Your adversary, he has the potential to be a weapon against you, to do some destruction to you. But the scripture says to agree with him while he's in the way. Lest he do what?
Least at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge.
Keep reading.
And the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
Perfect. We was just talking about a police officer. Agree with them. Don't get puffed up. Don't get prideful. Agree with them. Get out of the situation. Jump to verse 9.
Verse 9.
Matthew 5 and 9.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
And that's what's going to happen. Now you're blessed. You agree with your adversary. So guess what? You're blessed. You're not in jail getting whatever getting done to you. You're not in jail dropping the soap. Real talk. You're blessed. It says, blessed are the peacemakers, because this cop came and you act accordingly. You exercise the scriptures. You exercise the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. So now guess what? That cop, he can't be a weapon against you. Read Jeremiah chapter 15. Actually, go to Proverbs chapter 16 and 7.
Come. Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 7.
Go ahead, read it.
When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies be at peace with him.
Yeah. Now you're at peace with everybody. That's how it should be for every one of us. And that's why I kept bringing out, if your mindset is right, if you're pleasing the Most High, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, your enemies is at peace with you. You don't have to worry about a weapon. You don't have to worry about getting somebody else back for what they did to you. That doesn't happen because your enemies are at peace with you. So if something happens to where your enemies aren't at peace with you, you keep having contentions with different people, something is wrong. Whether in your household, your family, out in the world, your job, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Your ways do not please the Most High. You got to check yourself. You always have to examine yourself to see whether you're in the faith. You got to examine yourself to see, what am I doing wrong? What's my thought process? What's going on?
Am I in the right place at the wrong
Am I at the wrong place at the wrong time?
Wrong place at the right time to get checked.
God.
Who's that? Just a.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12.
You know Zion got one. He's the weapon.
No, but I like what he said with the Proverbs 16 and 7 about if a man's way pleases the Most High, even his enemies are at peace. But it's like, cool, how you handling your enemies? Because a lot of times, if your ways please the Most High, you're dealing with others in a way. Or let me slow down. If your ways please the Most High, you're dealing in a certain way with people.
Right.
And it's like, what's the attributes of that? Because everybody wants to act all macho man and, I want to beat up this person. Nah. This right here is certain attributes that the Most High is pleased with.
Can
you get that?
Which is
Colossians 3 and 12.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. Put on, therefore, as the elect of God.
And I like that because it says, as the elect of God. So this is how the chosen rules around. This is how Solomon was dealing with people. That's why he had 40 years of peace. Read.
Holy and beloved.
It says what?
Holy and beloved.
Yeah, so set apart and beloved of God. So it's dope. So we're not dealing like everybody else. Read.
Bowels of mercy.
Bowels of what?
Bowels of mercy.
Yeah, so there ain't no strife, ain't no grieving against people.
Yeah.
You have mercies against people whenever they mess up, because you got the wisdom. Read.
Kindness.
Read.
Humbleness of mind.
Yeah, humbleness of mind, like you said in the scripture about where's your mind frame at. Yeah, if your mind's with straight chaos, you watching UFC fights, you want to fight everybody, yeah, that's going to be the environment around you. Read.
Meekness.
Read.
Long suffering.
Yeah, cats don't want to have meekness and long suffering with each other. We always just want to, and the cold part about it, a lot of cats that we deal with is our own people. That puts us right back in Deuteronomy chapter 28 curses. Nah, your mind ain't right. But the reason why I went here was for actually 13, but hit 13 real quick. My apologies.
Forbearing one another and forgiving one another.
Read.
If any man have a quarrel against any,
if anybody wants to try to fight, read.
Even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye.
Why? Jump down to 15. It's nasty.
And verse 15, and let the peace of God rule in your hearts.
That's why I like that verse. If your enemies be at peace with you, because you got peace in your heart. You ain't trying to mess with nobody.
Yeah.
Come, yeah. Beautiful class.
That's perfect. That's absolutely. I mean, yeah, I can't. I don't even have it. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect because I mean, your enemies.
2 minutes, so you keep going.
Yeah, your enemies, man. They can become weapons against you, whether carnally or spiritually. So it's perfect. So like it says, even as Christ, it says, if any man have a forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. Think about it, man. A lot of times when people do things, we don't consider that they don't mean to do it. They don't mean it. A lot of us are still working on ourselves. We still have spiritual defects. So a lot of times, man, somebody might do something that we don't like, and it's like, we make them an enemy out of it. We're not merciful to them. So it's like, you go tit for tat, like you say, and it's like this person, that just might be how they grew up. It's a spiritual defect. They got to get past it. You got to show them some love, some mercy, and forgive them. Instead of turning them into an enemy.
Holding a grudge.
Holding a grudge. That way you live peaceably. You can have peace in your heart. It's nothing better than having a peaceful mind. It's nothing better. What's the worst thing about being locked up in a jail cell? It's your mind. You're locked up, and it's just you, and you do not have a peaceful mind. And that mind just, it gets you. All those thoughts, you miss your family, you miss this, you miss that. You're trapped in a cell with all these people. You're trapped in confinement. It's your thoughts. It's nothing better than having a peaceful mind. So we gotta remember that. We gotta remember that. Go to Psalms 119 and 195. This will be the last scripture. Is that 10 o'clock?
Yeah, but you got more though, right?
I have plenty more. So I mean, this could be the last one.
But we can part 2 it. Or you just skip all the way down.
This Psalm chapter 119, what?
Part 2.
It's gonna be Psalms 119. We're gonna start at verse 95, and then we're gonna jump to verse 93.
Psalms chapter 119, verse 95. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies.
So the wicked, they're always out to get us, right? But what keeps us from being get? It says, but what? Read that last part.
But I will consider thy testimonies.
Our mind is on the Most High. We consider the Most High. So it's like you were saying, Camilla, you were at work, this lady came in, she was being I won't say it, but she was being whatever.
Which would it be?
Yeah. So she was being that. But you're going to consider the Most High. You consider, right? So instead of snapping, instead of going off. So now you consider. Jump to verse 93.
Verse 93. I will never forget thy precepts.
That's what you're considering. You do not forget the Most High's precepts. You don't forget anger rests at the bosom of a fool. You don't forget agree with thine adversary quickly. You don't forget live peaceably with all men if in thy power. Sweet words turn away wrath. You don't forget these things. Keep reading.
For with them thou hast quickened me.
Because with that's what's going to get you out of the situation. That's what's going to put you back on the path to life. Because what that was a situation. It's like you're going down the street and you come to a two-way street. You have the wicked way, you have the right way. That's your opportunity. You exercise the scripture, you go down the right way. You exercise the wrong way, you go down the wicked way. The wicked path, like that movie Wrong Turn. So you exercise the scripture, you meditate on the precepts, the Most High quickens you. He brings you back to life. Now guess what? She leaves. You don't even think about her for the rest of the day because you have like a whole bunch more people coming in. You might go home and complain to your husband.
Oh, I did. I didn't complain, but I just told him what happened.
And that's the right thing to do. You communicated it. You didn't keep it in. So you went home and you communicated it to him. So now he's like, did you think about this? Did you think about these scriptures? Now he's like, he might not bring you to it, but he might just paraphrase it. He'll listen to you and be like, oh, you did it right. You handled the situation right. You did it correctly. But always communicate it. Because your husband will let you know if you did it the right way, he might add to it, or he might just let you know you were totally wrong. Read verse 94 as well.
Verse 94. And I am thine, save me.
So we're his because we follow his commandments. We actually apply the wisdom. That's what makes us the sons of God. Because we apply the wisdom of our Father. Keep reading.
For I have sought thy precepts.
We sought the precepts. We spent the time studying. We spent the time in class. We spent the time watching 3-hour class videos. We live in Houston. We actually spent the time to come to class and not watch online. So we're his. We sought the precepts. We actually did it. I'm sorry, I have no sympathy. If you live in Houston and you're watching online, I have no sympathy for you. Because when I first came and I got this truth, it was a treasure to me. It was a treasure to me. I did not have a car. I took 2 buses to get here. I took 2 buses to get to class. And the Most High blessed me with a car. He blessed me with, I was going to buy a raggedy car that was going to break down. And the Most High had my father take me, like, hey, let's go look for a car. I'll match the money you have. And then we find that car, and it's way more than what we had. And then the Most High, my dad was like, look, sometimes they just take the money. As long as you have the money on deck, they'll take it. And he's like, look, this is what we have. We have it right here. Give us the car, you get the money right now. And the dude was like, I like your son. He's like, I'm only doing this because I like your son. Like the scripture we read earlier, where it says that the Most High anoints you with oil. He makes you shine. The Most High makes you shine. So now the guy's like, I like your son. He doesn't even know my name. How do you like me? We talked for like 5 minutes. But he's like, I like your son. I'm going to do it for your son. He did it. The Most High blessed me. The Most High blessed me with a car. because I didn't have a way to get here. I took 2 buses. Took me like class started at 7. I had to leave the house like at 5 o'clock to get here because of the 2 buses. But I got here and I did it. The first time I came to class, it was a feast day. And I got here and class wasn't going on because it was a feast day. So I'm like, damn. I came in here, nothing was going on. I called them, it was like, oh yeah, we're having a feast, my bad. We should have let you know, but it was like, y'all have never seen me before. How would y'all let me know? You know what I'm saying? But the Most High blessed it. The Most High blessed that little thing. And that's a big blessing. Yeah, it's a car. You can use it. You can see it. But a lot of times, man, when we do things like that, when we go the extra mile to show the Most High we care, He'll bless us, man. And you just got to remember, sometimes we don't see that blessing all the time. Sometimes He just keeps you out of danger. And a lot of times, man, it's just keeping your mind right. It's nothing better than having a peaceful mind, man. It's nothing better than being able to go to sleep and you have no worries. The Most High keeps your mind at peace. He keeps your family at peace. So, but yeah, with that.
I mean, he got plenty more. He got like a million scriptures over here. So we're going to probably continue this class. This is his first class. So we did have one question online real quick. Stefan. It says, does the Most High sometimes take His spirit? Let me see. Does the Most High sometimes take away His spirit? Sometimes being away from the righteous for a long time, it feels like that. So I always wanted to know if that's the case. Well, no, because you just said it in your question. The Most High, He's not going to take the spirit, you just don't be around it. You take yourself from it. So, real quick, see, this goes back into what we were talking about earlier. This goes back into what we were speaking about earlier about a man having an office and not being able to fulfill his office. Because, why? He has all these other obligations. Man can't serve Most High and Mammon. You see that? Because why? He's not around the spirit. You see that? I'm going to go here real quick. I'm going to go to 2 scriptures. Go to James 1:14 real quick. Actually, hold that. Go to 2 Timothy. Go to 2 Timothy 2 and 4. Just to show you real quick. See, gotta remember, we in a battle, we in a war. Read 2 Timothy 2 and 4.
No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life.
Right. See, when you get entangled with the affairs of this life, guess what happens? That spirit, you're not able to put yourself around the spirit. So now what happens? You're not around that guidance, you start feeling lost. So you got to ask yourself, where should I be? Read.
That he may please Him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
Because you got chose to be what?
A soldier.
Because somebody did what?
Chose.
You see that? Because the Most High chose you to be a soldier in His army. He didn't choose you to go work at Walmart. I always use Walmart, like I said, or Whataburger. What's all the other places that niggas be running to go get a job at? McDonald's and Burger King. A warehouse. Yeah, He didn't choose you to go run a forklift. That's not what He chose you for. He chose you to be a soldier in a war. Like it or not, you're going to be in the war. Like it or not, you were born in it. You were born in sin and shapen in iniquity. Like it or not. Is you going to fight? You going to bust your gun to get it? Or you just going to get busted on and get spiritually ripped apart? That's what you got to ask yourself. I'm automatically in this fight. I'm automatically in this war. But am I going to live through it? Now I'll go to James 1:14 real quick. So these are just some self-questions, some rhetoricals that we got to ask ourselves when we go through this fight. You got to know you're automatically in the fight from birth. You just got to say, am I going to choose to fight? then when you are fighting and you're going through it, it's another thing you gotta say. The Most High is putting me through things, but how is He putting me through things and why? And what? Read James 1:14 real quick.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his.
Go ahead. See, when you're tempted and drawn away from that spirit, from the true spirit of the Most High, from the iron sharpeneth iron, the Proverbs 27:17. When you're drawn away from these things, it ain't the Most High that's saying, "Look, let me pull you away from the spirit." Right. It's the things that you entangle yourself with in the world. No man that warreth entangle themselves with the affairs of this life. So the things of this life, your carnal life, is what's drawing you away. So read that again.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
You see that? Go ahead.
And enticed.
Yeah, see? It's the things of your life that you miss or that you want or that you haven't accomplished or that you think you need that keeps you at arm's length from what the Most High ordained you to be, which is a king, a priest, a soldier, a man. Without the wisdom, you're just a male that is growing old. You're not a man. You got to remember these things. You're just a male. There's a difference between a man and a male. There's a difference. So you got to keep these things in remembrance that the Most High don't take the spirit. We remove ourselves from the spiritual realm. All right? So hopefully that answered that question. Is there anything else online? Any other questions? Yeah, again, the brother did a Tawab job on the class. We got more. Like I said, he got more, so we'll probably continue it on Friday. Let him get in there and finish that up. Get dirty with it. You know, you got to understand. I mean, this brother's up here teaching this class, doing this thing. Again, a brother that humbled himself, willing to learn, showed up, right? Didn't think he knew everything, right? Gave himself, continues to give himself. And look, now he's up here being able to give his experiences and through the word of the Most High and edify. All right, so let's see. I appreciate the content, brother. I'm just hearing about Hebrew Israelite group. Thanks to Apostle of New Jerusalem. That's how I found out about y'all. Just moved here to Houston and trying. Your comment got cut off. Yeah, brother, John Hampson. Listen, come through the class. If you in Houston, come through. We at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. If you need a ride, my number is 303-557-8979. Hit me up, we get you a ride. All right? That's how we get down. So with that, if there's nothing else online, no questions in here, on the topic, off the topic, anybody else want to vent? Anybody else want to vent what's going down? Any gripes, qualms, anything? Y'all good? All right. Well, we're gonna end it there. Twab job, and we're gonna salute them online. Shalom. God, y'all sure y'all want to vent? Get it in. Get it in with me real quick.
Done told us, so to me, there's no surprise on why they fold us. It's not cause our skin is dark and they don't know us. It's cause we're stuck on that crack and that doja. Allow our brains to be polluted now they